today, I kind of just want to basically reprocess everything that we've been talking about with the whole Casze slash Cenderra versus Rayleigh situation. Um, and so what we're gonna do is first I found a couple of um old job postings from Kaze I thought were kind of just like interesting with the timing. And so I wanted to look at them. I think we may have covered one, but I know we did not cover the other. Um and actually I don't we may have covered a different one than this one. I can't remember if we covered this one specifically or another one. But anyway, um, so we're gonna look at that, and then I'm gonna just kind of do like a little recap of my whole coverage so far. Not a recap of the story, just a recap of what I covered, if that makes sense, which is kind of involves that, but is different. Um, and then we're gonna do after that is begin with today we're at least gonna get through Rayleigh and Kaze's story with like just kind of looking straight through what happened. So instead of looking at just Rayleigh's stories in order or just Cenderra's side in order, I'm gonna do the Rayleigh Kaze side where because they were both posting about each other in response, we're gonna look at each thing they said in order. So what Cenderra was posting first, and then what Rayleigh said, and then what Cenderra said, and then what Rayleigh said, and then what Cenderra said. Um, but then what I want to do is look straight through what um, I've called her the Don, as well as the real Jinsu. She changed her handle to just the real Jinsu. So where she was previously referred to as just the Don, if I call her the Don or the real Jinsu, that's the same person. Um, and then we're also gonna look straight through Diana, another employee's side, not employee, another client side. My bad. We're gonna look straight through the Don and Diana. Those are both former client sides. And then we're gonna look at what employees and other guests have said as well. Um, and so we're going to look through everything that I've covered. I know in this live stream, I'm going to try and get through at least the Rayleigh and Kaze sides. We're going to see how long that takes. Um, Depending, I might skip watching I might like have to break this in parts depending on how long it takes me. So if I don't end up finishing this all in one go, then the next live stream I'll do will just finish it. Um, but yeah, so what I've done is wrote out like the timestamps for um where like in which video and where are the timestamps each like story is by person, because when I was covering it as it happened, I was covering it as it was being told in the moment. And the issue with that though is like I wasn't just covering, like I was covering like additional commentary from all these other creators as well as like the articles that were written about it. And then the stories were being kind of told in between each other as well. So we were hearing about the Rayleigh Kaze situation, and then we were hearing about the Rojinsu, and then we heard about the employees, and then we heard about the Rojinsu again, and about Diana, and then we heard about back and forth again about Rayleigh and Kaze as well, and all of that, and like and so it was just kind of like you were getting all of these parts of their stories in between each other. You know what I'm saying? And so now in reprocessing it all, I just kind of want to like think about what each person's story was straight through without another person's story in between it. Um, but because of, fair use law and just like for the sake of reaction commentary, instead of just going and pulling up their videos and only just watching their videos and that's it. I'm just going to replay my past commentary on that in the order that it was done, if that makes sense. And so, yeah, so if you've already been watching all of my videos, um, it's up to you whether or not this is like something you also want to process this way, because I know for some of you guys, it's going to be like, yeah, this is great because it's just, the way, like, hearing something again without having like all of these things in between it can be a good way to understand, okay, what the fuck happened, because so much did happen, right? But then for other people it's just like, nah, I'm tired of this shit or whatever. It's just like you're over it, like, done. And so if that's you, you may not want to be on this video, but oh, you might want to check out, unless you want to see like the links I'm about to show real quick. But yeah, all right, so I'm gonna fucking roll my intro, and then we're gonna do this bitch. We'll get started with the Raylee Casze part. Alrighty. Hi, my name is Lexi, aka Deaf Child. I'm born deaf, hard of hearing. Deafness runs in my family genetically. Speech is not fully accessible to me. My team was one of the top teams between 2020 and 2024 in New Orleans and Louisiana. I began doing business as Deaf Child in 2013, marketing 2011, and sales 2009. I've earned 50 plus certifications in marketing and sales, and I have my Bachelor of Science from Loyola University, New Orleans, with a music industry studies major and a business administration minor. Visit my site at noladeafchild.com. Okay, so first of all, I just wanted to start with the job postings that I had found that she posted a couple months ago. And so this one, I don't think we covered yet. And it's for an operations manager position. And it's for their Georgia location, I believe. Their Buckhead, Georgia. And I just thought it was really interesting. The pay for the operations management is between $19 and $27. $19 an hour for operations management, like, unless that's like a part-time job, but it says full-time. Well, it does say full-time, part-time contract, but even part-time, it doesn't deserve 19 now. Like, operations management to be paying that low, like, you should be starting at 25 and it should be going way higher. um really, like, I don't know, I just feel like the pay was really low, but that's just me. But it's also just like, yeah, so this post date was, it's posted and expired in 2023. And I hadn't seen it yet, but when I was trying to find if there was a court update, and if there is, it has not been made publicly available yet, so I can't find any type of legal documentation between Casze and Raylee. You know what I mean? But yeah, fucking, I just thought it was really entertaining that, they've been looking for like these types of positions, but also looking at the pay. And then they had like, for their Miami location, for 16 an hour. That is super low in my opinion for a personal passion assistant. And I do know it can be like relatively industry standard, to where if you're in retail and fashion, they'll start you off at straight up fucking 12 an hour sometimes, and that's like apparently legal or some shit. But like, I don't know. I just still find it like, particularly with the price point this is at, it's just like, that blows my mind. It's like, what's the point in charging this higher price point if you're not even gonna pay, right? And she doesn't even pay anyway, but as allegedly, as we know from what the employees have shown. But yeah, fucking, it's just wild to me. But anyway, so we're gonna come back to that, but before we come back to this, we will come back to it in Two Shakes of a Lamb's Tail. I wanted to point out there's been a new comment here. Another employee claims to have been mistreated. Another person claims to have been an employee, claims to have been treated. When you click this person's profile, they are obviously in a fashion designer, seamstress, dressmaker, alterations, like, you know what I mean? So I do believe that it's definitely that they most likely probably did work for her. Definitely possible. Like, yeah. So, uh-huh. Um, and so fucking, we'll come back to this though. So, Before we get into everything, I wanted to just kind of do an overview of what we covered so far for those of you who haven't been along for the ride. And so, when this all started, I was totally biased against Rayleigh, and I still kind of am politically in a way, but I don't like either of them now. I used to not know about Caze and Cenderra to dislike her. Now, from what I've seen, I dislike that, right? But going into that, I hadn't seen that yet, and so like I go into it just totally believing her story, um, because like she's showing the dress, and in my head, it did not fucking compute. I keep saying this. I feel like I've said this a million times in this playlist. I'm exaggerating. Definitely not a million. Probably like three. But um, fucking I've said it before though. Um, it did not compute for me. Like, how would a business owner fuck themselves up this way? And I kept saying, like, if she's lying, if this comes out where she lied, she completely would just have ruined her reputation. And right now, I feel like she's at that point. Like, the only way for her reputation to not be ruined is for a court case to have court in the court of public opinion, which has already occurred, in my opinion. While there are people who are still siding with Cenderra, and there's still enough people to where I think she's gonna have viable business that'll keep going. Um, there's still not enough to where like on the Caze side, fucking like on the Rayleigh side, like with what happened and between the employees speaking out and between the other clients coming out, a lot of people are now pushed to Rayleigh's side. And so, I've spent a lot of time harping in this playlist about what I believe the technicalities of the stealing could be in terms of like if you took something that you paid for that you, that you did not pay in full for, even if you paid for half of it, or more, but you didn't finish, is it technically stealing if you don't finish paying for it, even if you don't like it? Um, I've spent a lot of time arguing on that technicality, but we're gonna ignore that for this live stream. Um, and I still have that thought process generally as a rule for procedure in my head for business under the constructs of today's reality for what's a feasible like workflow for me in my head. But like what I want to focus on instead is how opinions swayed and what stories that were told, what information that came to light made us change our mind and shit. And so fucking yeah, when it first came out, I was totally on the Caze side because in my head, she had showed the finished product of a dress, and I could see why she would not have shown evidence for some of the things that she was saying because a lot of that would have involved like you would have to just redact it so heavy, it's so much work, um because there's a story that I want to tell, but I have to redact every fucking thing, and so it's been hours of editing to redact this shit, you know what I'm saying? And it's like it's taking me forever. But so I would understand why like a business owner isn't just going to come out and not and just share like certain documentation, right? If you're gonna do it, you gotta redact it first. Fucking and it can take a long time to make sure that's done properly. So in my head, I was originally like there was enough evidence for me to be like, the testimony, the finished product of the dress, and just the fact of like in the testimony, I knew there were because of those things that she was claiming. There has to be a paper trail for the things that she was claiming. So in my head, it didn't compute as to why would she lie about things that there would be evidence for, right? And so that's why I totally was on the Rayleigh side. I mean, not Rayleigh side, the Caze side to begin with. Now I'm on neither side. Um, I do feel that Rayleigh got a fucked up dress. I just don't like the way Rayleigh handled it. I do feel Caze handled like also handled it in an even more fucked up way. So you know what I'm saying? So I think like maybe Caze was originally wronged, but then Rayleigh was even more wronged in some ways. But then, like, I still disagree with some of the things that, like, Rayleigh was doing too, though. Like, I feel like some of the things that Rayleigh's doing, I really just doesn't align with my value alignment. But definitely more than the same for the Kaze. Like, so both sides, like, I just don't like either of them now. But I'm just explaining how I went into it believing Kaze because as a business owner, it just did not compute. Why would you go tell this story where there would be the evidence? There's the paper trail for all of these claims where you can put up or shut up. And yeah, I just couldn't understand why the fuck would you make this up? And so now I do believe, after full processing, I do believe it could have been like maybe a misunderstanding, or like I don't know. You can see my playlist with the questions. I would literally have to have all of those questions answered to have an opinion, and I haven't had those questions answered, so I really don't like feel like I fully have an opinion. I'm just like thinking of different applications of these issues in general business. You know what I'm saying? At this point is where I've gotten to, even though I didn't start off there. You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know. Sorry. Okay, let's do this, bitch. My bad. So then, after that, I covered updates, but the updates were primarily articles written about the situation. This situation got a lot of press coverage, and I've also covered why I believe it's gotten press coverage in my commentary throughout this playlist regarding news cycle and Google Trends coverage too. And in the description, I outlined which videos those were. Um, so yeah, fucking. But, and then after that, Rayleigh's family responded. Um, and then after Rayleigh's family responded, that's when Kaze's client started speaking out. So there was a random post, some people speaking out, like, I think someone may have spoken out anonymously because there's this one thing that I don't think I corroborated a source for. Um, and then fucking, but there is this other post out there, as well as, the two customers that we do know about, Diana and the Don, who kind of went relatively viral for their stories. And then, did they go viral? I don't know. So lately, so before I was, in learning marketing, like in my marketing classes, was previously taught that it doesn't count as going viral unless you get at least 1 million views, right? And so I definitely feel that Rayleigh has gone viral, and Kaze's posts have gone viral on this. But then the Diana and the Don, those got thousands of views, I know for sure, but I don't remember if they got millions. So I'm not sure if they technically went viral. But I do feel like even if something's popular enough, people will still be like, it went viral. Even if it, I don't know. But does that matter? Does that technicality really matter anymore? Does that change? Because I also know these things, these definitions and meanings can change over time too. Okay, sorry. So after that, Rayleigh shared her evidence, and like the internet was like apologizing profusely because of like the errors, the things with everything that Rayleigh does not like about the dress. Say it 1 million times, but again and again and again, absolutely valid, because there's a lot of fucked up things wrong with that dress. Um, Fucking, and then I did a timeline and a PR and timeline analysis. One is just with their statements, and one was with the evidence. And in this one, I didn't go watch the full thing like we're about to do now. I just went over the timelines of how I was processing the information up to this point. And then after that, I discussed how public opinion had been shifting. Um, and then next, we looked into the former employee story that came out anonymously under the designer on TikTok. We'll be rewatching that. And I kind of looked into who is documented as the CEO of Caze. I think, is that her title? I think it may be CEO or something like that. Or, um, I forgot her title there. Let's see.
with the Georgia Department of Labor and Wages.
This
She's
autoplayed, my
never
bad.
bounced checks to her
Um,
employees and has not made.
okay. Yeah, it is the CEO. It was autoplaying. Alright. Fucking, my bad. Um, yeah, and then I had found a deleted video, from Casze and Raylee. Fucking, and then then after that, I did my shit does not add up presentation. And that's in the What the Fuck Wednesday live stream as well. It's the shit does not add up round two. It's the final presentation that I published standalone. Um, and yeah, so I would go. So these are the ones where I'm like, I need these questions answered to know how I really feel about the facts of the case. Do you know what I mean? About like to for like because my opinion heavily sways based on the answers to these questions. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people are like, I used to be, strong on the Kaze side. Now almost everybody is strong on the Rayleigh side, and I totally see why, because that dress was fucked. The only reason, like, there are specific places in the evidence that Kaze showed, allegedly, where Rayleigh may have actually given approval on some of the things wrong with the dress. Do I still think she's valid in being upset with this shit? Hell yes. However, my concern is, would that legally be used against her? Possibly. That's all I'm saying, right? And there's some back and forth about whether she has said at one point she wanted the glue, and then at another point she didn't want the glue, and like certain and the belt too, and things like that. Like there's some of the things where one time she said it, then she said she didn't want it, then she said she wanted it, but not like that. And then, but both of these things were on her checklist, even though she said she didn't want them ever. And so in my head, I'm like, well, like there could be an explanation, like what if she was talked into it and so she put it on the list to make sure it's just getting done? Like I could see something like that or something, but like in my head it's still like, why is something you shouldn't put something in writing you don't want, because then it looks like you're legally consenting to it. But maybe I'm wrong, but you know what I mean? I don't know. Um fucking yeah. So and then after that, I just kind of just discussed, why these questions were fucking with my head on where to go with this, and we discussed what I was talking about with the news cycle, why it got so big in the press, why it's still trending, and all of that. And for me, the reason I covered so much of this, and I'm kind of like so fascinated, is just the mind fuck of it for me, to where how could a business owner like fuck themselves up this way? You know what I mean? To where like like a lot of people don't see her as a credible businesswoman now. And it would not have happened if she hadn't gone after Rayleigh, in my opinion, because Diana had spoken out about Caze, and other clients had spoken out about Caze before, and they got a little bit of traction, but they didn't go fucking viral at that time. And it didn't really get traction until people came back to it after this went viral. And then people were like, oh shit, right? And so for me, it's like if Kaze had, if she did this to her, not that like did, like, I don't know if that's victim blaming in a way, but it's like she did this to herself in some ways. Honestly, it's not victim blaming because it's her own actions coming out. How is that victim blaming when I'm just talking about what she did, right? Like it's allegedly as documented by people. Anyway, so then we went over the three differences in the Kaze clients and how Cenderra was posting again about the dress. And then after that, Kaze was messaging other creators. She messaged two different creators in these next two posts. But in this one post, she also, Rayleigh also made some more updates about the situation. But when some of Rayleigh's posts about it all, and some of her posts, she's speaking explicitly about shit that's wrong with the dress, you know? And in some of it, she talks about the dress, but she doesn't like go over the dress in a way that I feel is relevant. Like she might allude to what happened, but she doesn't really talk about the dress in a way. She just talks about being stressed about the dress, right? And so I covered those videos before, but I'm going to skip some of those that don't go over any actual issues with it, like her compartmentalization video. And then she had another video about processing trauma. I don't need to watch those two videos for this stream, so we're not going to. Um, but those exist. Fucking, and then after that, Cenderra was fucking harassing a client. So yeah, we covered that shit. And then Raylee posted, I was just saying in this Marketing Monday, I was saying I wish Raylee would do an ad where she was connecting her work as a hairstylist to the products, right? Because we were covering her content. And then, like, the next day, I see her doing that. I was like, yeah, that's the show I'm talking about. Um, and fucking, so regardless of what I think of her political beliefs, I actually do like her ad. That I covered. That was a good one. Fucking, and then after that, the real Jinsu slash the Don is a former client of Casze. So in watching the real Jinsu stream in this stream and that one, you get even more of the story. So definitely check that out. If you haven't seen that live stream yet, go, well, we're gonna watch it. But yeah, that one's worth it. Fucking, and then we last one that I've done before this one is the Rayleigh says more about Kaze. So, um, yeah. So like I think it was in this one that we covered two more. Like in the real Gensu streaming in the stream one, we covered two more videos that Rayleigh did on it. I think in that one, and then in the next one we covered that third and final part. And I checked before I started this live stream. We can check again at the end, but Rayleigh had not posted anything new yet at this time. So, yeah. And that concludes me summarizing what the fuck we covered so far. And now what we're gonna do is begin with rewatching what I previously covered regarding Rayleigh and Kaze. So what we're gonna do is first just start with the Rayleigh and Kaze story, and then we'll get into the others. So yeah, we'll do that now. Into a different conversation here. Have you heard about this bridal gown situation? Are you addicted to TikTok like me? And if you're addicted to TikTok like me, did this come across your For You page yet? Because holy fuck. Okay, sorry. I'm like being indecisive. I'm gonna try to get into a more fluid thing here. Fucking, but so first, I don't know if I should just like let it all play in order. If I should just stop and tell you what we're watching as we're watching it. I might be end up doing a little bit both of that. I don't know. But fucking, since I paused, might as well tell you. Right now, what we're starting off with is the very first thing I ever saw about this whole situation, and where I went into disbelieving Kaze because it didn't compute into my head how or why could she be lying about this when there would be evidence for it coming out in my head, you know what I mean? And so we're gonna start here, and then we'll keep going. Shit, man. First of all, this woman is gorgeous, stunning. Look at her, beautiful, gorgeous. Is this Casze? Because damn, gorgeous. The dress, stunning. So, I came across the original video. This is the first video that came across my For You page. So let's watch it real quick. I don't think it's captioned, so I'm going to just pause and let y'all know what's being said as well. So this one doesn't have a voiceover. It's just the song to that Gucci Mane song by Photo Shoot. The Photo Shoot. I mean, I didn't say that right. Photo Shoot is the song title. Gucci Mane is the artist. And it was saying story time. Come. What does it say? story time coming on how Raylee stole her dress, and it tagged the person that did it. And then it said, "Here's the bride. What a shame." Um, and then it goes to. I'm also realizing we will be here for hours if I watch all of this at regular speed, so I'm gonna try speeding it up too. Um, we're gonna try it at 1.75, and if I need to slow it down, we're gonna slow it down. Showing Ray's Instagram, owner of rays.hair.co from rayleigh.rook. You cannot find either of those accounts now, of course, you know. And then it shows her TikTok at Rayleigh Rook. And obviously, you can't find that account now either, so that's obviously gone. And so, yeah, and she is a Colorado hairstylist. So, yeah, and apparently she is getting married to a dude named David Wells, according to comments. Now, people were saying show up to the wedding, sis, and all sorts of things. And look, you can see how like she's helping her try on the dress, get accessorized and all of that. You look at the comments. The comments are all on the bridal downside, and Rayleigh has completely shut everything down, went completely private. There's been no videos of self-defense from Rayleigh where there's any kind of misunderstanding on the payment transaction. And so, you know, these videos came out a few days ago, 2 to 3 days ago. And so for me, it's like, in my opinion, if Rayleigh did not steal this, if this was a misunderstanding, why wouldn't Rayleigh come forward with those receipts, right? So for Rayleigh's instant reaction to then be to go private, shut everything down, am I wrong for thinking that's suspicious or for questioning that? Because for me, that's suspicious. It's like, where are you running? Why are you hiding? Why did you block her? Why did you? Oh wait, I'm sorry. I'm jumping. No, let's keep going. This is because we're about to get there. Okay. So the description for this says, I said I wasn't gonna do this, but shit, I talked too much. But fucking So the answer that Rayleigh had come out with all of that was she just wanted to focus and enjoy her wedding because she didn't get her dress till a few days before her wedding or whatever. And then the post was made the night before her wedding. At this time, I didn't know that I don't think that I knew that at this time that the wedding was the next day when I said that. I just knew that the dress was alleged to have been stolen at that point, and that the bride was nowhere to be gone, was to be seen. I believe is what I knew at that point. Um, and so yeah, fucking um, if I think that's what I had known. But anyway, so like obviously it makes sense to where if this post happened the night before your wedding and then you just need to focus the next day on your goddamn wedding day, you ain't got time for that shit on the wedding day. Um, but not knowing that, like we can see why I had that question. Bailey has our dress and won't pay us the balance. It's a bridal gown, and at this point she would not return or pay her balance, so the dress is stolen. If anyone has any information about this Colorado bride, please let us know. So yeah, everyone was saying she had changed her ID. It did look like she'd already had that account according to the screenshots. But both of those are down. 2 hours ago, one person said her Facebook's still up. Now that's down. But someone said, according to Lisa, she said she had a pickup saying she was going to sue for slander. And someone was saying, I'm sure there are financial records and messages, show those to the lawyer. So yeah. Someone else was saying she works at Electric Beauty Limited in Colorado. And she's fully there as a July on their Facebook page. Oh shit. I bet that won't last long because they're not going to want to be associated with this. Or if they are, I'm very surprised. Everyone's saying show up to the wedding with the police. I don't know where someone, I feel like someone said that the wedding already happened somewhere. Everyone's saying show up to the wedding, file a police report, show up to the wedding with the police, ruin the day. Someone else said with scissors. Someone said take it from her and wear it out in front of all the guests. You know, that's hilarious though because the designer was the lady in the dress wearing it. Like she looks better than this person. Okay, I'm going to try and skip through the comments here if I can. In my opinion, like this. Yeah, looks way better. Where is it? Is it in here? Is it in here? Or is it in the other video? Where are you? I could have sworn. Why do I think I saw that? Oh, yeah, then that. You know what I'm saying? Right, there it is. Okay, different videos, my bad. So, yeah, and someone else said, sounds like some terrible karma to start a marriage iPhone. Hope you get paid. Someone else said, put flyers on her guest cards while they're away. Someone said, get a lawyer. Girl social media card out. If you keep calling that, they would find it word to call the way these providing the goddamn service that's expected and basically kind of demanded at that price point. I'm trying to figure out where the next part is. My bad, y'all. I'm skipping through right now. I'm going to try and timestamp this. In my opinion, her to call the way these are these real crystals. That I don't mean to be rude. I don't know shit about dresses. What I'm saying, but it's immaculate. The jewels on here, the I don't know if these are like jewels and beads or both crystals or what. It's gorgeous. I don't know what the fuck that is, but it looks great. You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to say. Um, but yeah, so even the earrings like went with it, stunning. The shoes on that she has on too are stunning. I like that with the dress. Like this looks gorgeous. So the description on this video is, can you all believe this is a bridal gown that was stolen from us? Read previous post. And so yeah. Okay, so this is another post about the situation. But in this post, I didn't just play the video because I didn't want to get the song copyright infringement thing happening on my live stream. And so, yeah, I just talk about it. And then when I'll start skipping through and I'm reading the comments again. And we got this comments here pretty similar. We have people calling out Raylee Rickovina, and one person in the last video, they said David Wells. In this video, they are saying DJ Wells is their girl. Maybe David is the D there for the client to steal it without pay. Okay, I just passed right up where I want to be. Hold up. Okay, we're about to start the next video. Here we go. Fucking. And then we have this video right here. We spent 5 months making this wedding dress just for the client to steal it without pay. And she said, I put so much time, detail, and love into this dress. I shipped out to her. She blocked us on everything. Her husband TikTok is David Wells, and her TikTok is Raylee Rick. She has me blocked. Is David still on here? David is not. And so one person put, as a business owner herself, I'm shocked. Conclusion on this, I will. Okay, and it looks like on the case. Okay, I was skipping through to see. I'm gonna mute this. I'm gonna just skip through. I'm just skipping through, and we're just gonna get to the story here. Okay, now let's watch the story. So there is an issue with no captions from the TikTok video here, and they used to show me a transcription. I'm really pissy that they stopped doing that, and I'm pretty sure I've got that in previous live streams before. But yeah, I'm hoping that the captioners are working for me. But yeah.
Let me explain why you cannot be nice. For story time, y'all, I shipped a wedding dress to a client because I wanted to make sure she got everything in plan. She's a rush bridal client.
Okay, so it's really hard for me to hear her. I had to turn my volume up. I think she's saying that she was shipping the dress to a bridal client. She wanted to make sure she got it or something.
Shipped it out, and she has not paid me my
I forgot to unmute. I'm gonna turn up the volume on my desktop audio mixer because she's really cool.
money.
And I think she just said that she shipped it out and she hasn't gotten paid her money yet.
In business, you have to stand on your policies and your principles and do not let up, y'all. This lady.
And she's saying in business, you gotta stand on your policies and principles and don't let up. Yeah, that can be hard to do though because customers will pressure you, and then you'll feel like you need to, negotiate with that deal in order to make a sale. Sometimes, whenever you're stuck in like situations where you need money,
Lady is in Colorado, and her wedding is tomorrow, and she has not paid me her money.
So this was 2 days ago. So she was saying 2 days ago that the wedding was tomorrow, meaning yesterday for me today, and that she still hasn't gotten paid at that time for the dress. Wow.
And it's just crazy. Stand on your business. Don't let up for nobody.
So yeah, she was basically saying that shit was crazy to stand on your business and not to let up. And so then she made another. Also maybe I was thinking that that the wedding could have already passed and that she had been gone ghosted after or something, Video about this as well, and we'll see what that.
So I didn't send the full address. Of course, I have a deposit, and then the balance was owed. But I was like, hey, let me just go ahead and get her shipped.
So she said the full dress wasn't paid for, but she did get a deposit, and she wanted to go ahead and get it shipped.
Sent her the balance information like maybe 2 days before.
And then she was saying she sent the payment balance information 2 days before. I don't know if she means 2 days before the making of this video or what, or 2 videos before she sent it, or.
And yeah, I wasn't really worried about it. I'm like, hey, she's my bridal client,
And she's just saying she wasn't worried about it because it was a bridal client.
I trust my clients, especially my bridal clients. She's gonna pay.
And she was saying that's because she trusts her clients, especially her bridal clients, and that's,
Y'all has the dress, literally won't pay, has the dress, literally saying all these different little things, has the dress, still won't pay. But then it's tomorrow.
I'm not really sure what she was saying here, to be honest. I think she was saying something about that they have the dress, and now I think she's saying that the wedding is tomorrow.
Still hasn't paid, refusing to pay, won't ship.
And now she's saying, I think she's saying she won't ship back the dress. Okay. But she's saying she's not getting paid and that they refuse to.
The dress back, just craziness. Stand on your business.
And she's like, yeah, you should not be getting the dress back or the rest of the payment. Stand on your business. If you're
no matter who the person is, do not let up. This lesson is so hard for me.
And she's like, now she's saying it doesn't matter who the person is and that the lesson is hitting hard for her. I agree, because that dress was fucking stunning. Like, if someone took that dress without fucking paying me for it, dude, I would be fucking livid.
I just had to like share this like crazy on over $3,000 and still
$3,000. That's like 2 months rent for me and bills. Like,
in that wedding dress is crazy.
So yeah, so we can see like this is what we've got so far on the story here, and there's one more video here of the dress. I think this is a repost of the other dress that we other video of the dress that we looked at in the Casze Z profile here. So yeah, she's saying that the Casze Z profile makes dream dress is stolen bridal gown. So yeah, fucking. So creator KZ, I don't know if she is KZ or if that's like multiple people at the brand or what in that regard, but yeah. Alrighty, so that ends the first part of the first information that I was responding to and told, where like I actually believe the dress is stolen based on what was said, because like where she was talking about like like everything that happened, I'm like in my head there would be evidence for this. I'm a broken record. Anyway, so moving on, this next one, I took down the original stream that I did on this, and then I decided to restream a stream. So this one is a little bit, I think, is that on this one? I think it is. Yeah, maybe I'm wrong. But I had restreamed the stream, I think, on this one. So this one's a little bit weirder if I remember correctly. Maybe it's not. Oh, you know what? But that was just a beginning, huh? Or not for this part, huh? I don't know. Okay, anyway, fucking. So I'm gonna start this one off at 1.75 speed as well. And so from this one, what we're gonna get started with here is Casze had made more posts, or Cenderra, also known as Casze, had made more posts, I believe, on the whole situation. And so we're just going to check that out real quick. My bad, I'm a little spacey. Here we go. At that point that I covered with the wedding dress, apologies again for the technical difficulties. And I'm also realizing now, watching this in hindsight, I probably fucked up with this microphone adjustment by raising my volume here, because it looks like actually the media is way lower than my microphone. And so now I may have exacerbated that by increasing my mic volume here. So oopsie. Fucking but anyway, so I'll sort that shit out. So it looks like Casze Z, Casze, uploaded a full what story regarding the wedding dress thief on TikTok, and it's linked in the description of this video. But next up, I figured we could do a little reaction to this full story. And I have not seen any. I found the videos, like they came across my live stream, but I didn't even watch this shit. I just saved the links, sent the links to myself, pulled them up, and I was like, all right, saving it for this video. And so yeah, here we go.
So first off, I want to say thank you guys so much for the tremendous support, the amount of people who genuinely understand how much.
She's saying, so first of all, she wants to thank us all for the support and the amount of people who genuinely understand her, I think. So it doesn't look like she has captions, so I am going to just kind of repeat what she's saying as we go, just in case anyone who doesn't have captions needs to understand. But yeah, fucking, and hopefully the captioner will be working on YouTube for me this time, because it can suck ass, man. Alright, fucking, yeah, let's see.
This has truly impacted me, and not only me, but my employees as well. As a black woman-owned business, I couldn't thank you guys enough for vouching for me and fighting for me. And for those that are asking,
it froze up on me, but she was saying as a black-owned business, she couldn't thank people enough for vouching for her and standing up for her, and that it put her and her employees at risk as well. Let's see, we've paused us here at the 17-second mark, so I'm going to refresh that. Come back to 17 seconds.
First off, I want to say thank you guys more. And did she get the dress?
Okay.
And for those that are asking how did she get the dress without paying, the big question, I shipped it out of good pay. This was
So she was saying the big question for those who are asking how did she get the dress without paying, and she was saying because she had shipped it.
A rush order bridal gown, and we had a few days until her wedding. So once I shipped it, I wanted to make sure that there were no delays.
And she was saying it was a rush order bridal gown a few days before the wedding, and so she shipped it because she wanted to make sure it was in time.
Delays in shipment. I wanted to make sure she got it ahead of time. So I already sent her the balance a few days prior, the balance with everything else that's owed.
And she's saying a few days prior she sent the balance on everything that was
in charge of shipping. She got that. I sent it via email, I sent it through text. I told her, review it, let me know. And then, I wasn't really thinking too much more about it. I was more focused on making sure the dress was perfected, making sure everything was good before I actually shipped it to her, because I knew her wedding was so soon. So fast forward to the day I shipped.
And she was basically saying she wanted to make sure everything was good before she shipped it to her because the wedding was so soon.
and made sure that it was on the truck and make sure everything was good. I sent her a reminder text and said, hey, just making sure you got the balance, making sure you know the payment options. Here you go. So I sent the reminder. So the dress was overnighted. So
yeah, so after she got it sent, she sent reminder notifications and everything about that, about the invoice, trying to get paid and all of that. And I had also previously discussed, like, it's easy to judge her for giving this away, at this price point without the full money, having sent without the full money. But at the same time, it's like at the luxury market, if you don't provide that level of service, some people will talk down on you for it. And so it's like you're damned if you do, damned if you don't on certain levels. You know what I'm saying? Because they'll see it as disrespectful too.
mind you, when it's overnighted and I shipped it that night, it gets there the next day in the morning. So
And she's saying it was overnighted, and so it was supposed to be shipped there and arrived and sent, like, she was supposed to have gotten it the next.
Leave it alone. I go to sleep. I wake up. They're a few hours ahead of us. So I send another text. Just, hey, the dress is going to be held at a location because I haven't received my payment. And then also, I haven't received any type of confirmation.
And so then she was now she's saying that she had told them that the dress was going to be held at a location because she hadn't received payment. So this part is where it gets to new material for me, because I don't feel like I knew that part before. So yeah, I wonder how the dress was given to her without payment then, because I thought it was like I just instantly arrived to her overnight. So maybe it arrived in the city overnight. Now this is where I'm a bit confused.
And I provided a signature request on the dress, and I don't want the dress to be delayed if they try to deliver and y'all weren't there, because no one is texting me back. So I sent that text in the morning. So I called FedEx to hold it at a location, hoping they would possibly go ahead and pay me or correspond back.
Okay, so she was saying that if no one was there signed for the dress, she would want it to be held at the FedEx location. So that's what happened, and she was hoping that she would be getting paid from that.
To me after I did that, because they went ghost as far as communication after I sent the tracking number the previous night.
But then the issue was, because she sent them the tracking number, they ghosted her because they had that information.
So call FedEx, hold it at a location, and no correspondence back. So by the time
now, I think she's saying that she didn't get correspondence back from FedEx when she was trying to further discuss holding it.
It got to, what time was it that morning? Maybe 11 my time. The mom texted me, like, oh, I'll pay the invoice. If the dress is there, I'll pay the invoice. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I'll send you the invoice. Sent the mom the invoice. Sent her the details. And then I didn't hear anything back for like another hour or two.
So now she's saying that that the mom was claiming to have paid the invoice. So cool.
And I'm checking the tracking. I see that the dress has actually been picked up. So after I send that message, the update, like, hey, can I get an update on the invoice? Send it to you. Did you get it? I don't hear anything back. Mind you.
So after she's checked the tracking, she can see that the dress has been picked up. And before that, she thought that the mom had said, she was paid, so she thought that the payment had been come through, but she goes to check the payment, and she's not gotten paid yet.
I know they got the dress. I see the signature request has been signed by, I think it was Jay Wells, which, her husband's last name is Wells. So I know they got it. So from there, I didn't have any correspondence from the daughter or from the mom.
So she knows they got the dress because they signed for it. And at this point, now they ghosted her.
So after that, I think Raylee, she ended up replying back to me saying, oh, no, I want to make sure I try on the dress first, and I send you half. Once I try it on, half after. And I'm like, no, I need my payment. Like, you got the dress, I need my payment. That's just what it is. She sent me those messages, she started replying. Then I text the mom, I'm like, hello.
So she's saying that the communication she did get back at that time was they were trying to pay the rest of it at a later time. And she was saying, no, if you have the dress now, I need the payment now.
I need my payment. Like, you all have the dress now. Can I please get my money paid, my balance paid? Okay, didn't hear anything else from them. They go for hours. 9 o'clock that night, my time. Mind you, all this was happening during the morning. So 9 o'clock my time, I'm on a flight. I get off the flight. I get a text and it's like, oh, you need to come fix the train. I said, well, I'm not going to come fix anything until the balance is paid, because I said at this point, you all knew you were supposed to pay.
So after this, they ghosted her, and then after a while, ghosted her. Mind you, from what I'm interpreting, they then fucking had the balls to ask her to come fucking fix their fucking train. Holy shit, that's so fucked up, man. Yeah.
The balance, you haven't paid it, you haven't been corresponding with me, you didn't even tell me that you received the dress, and I shipped it, that this is a very important item for me.
So at this point, I also didn't know, like, the full context of all the issues with the dress. And so the way it's told, I'm thinking she hasn't gotten paid for the whole dress yet, and people are trying to get more work from her, right? For free. Like, I'm thinking it's an exploitation of thing. But then after hindsight, I can see where it was a issue thing. I still have questions about the train part. But you know what? It's not my dress and I wasn't there. But anyway, okay, let's keep going.
For me as well as you didn't even have the courtesy to tell me, hey, I received it. So whatever type of games are being played, I was like, no, I'm done. I'm like, if you want me to fix the dress, I will fix it, but I need my money paid. So I didn't hear anything else from her, didn't hear anything else from her mother.
So she was basically pretty upset, obviously, rightfully so, about how she hasn't gotten fucking paid yet for this fucking shit. I'd be fucking livid, dude. And then, so now she was saying that she responded to them, like, if they pay her, she's happy to come fix that shit, but she can't without payment.
Here, we go to the next day. I sent a nice text. I said, hello. It has now been a day that you all have had the dress. I have no balance, no correspondence. I don't know what's going on. I need an update, okay? A few hours go by, the mom eventually replies to me and is like, oh, we want the dress to work. I don't know if it's going to work. I said, with the dress.
So she was telling them she needs an update on the payment. She needs a payment. And the mom starts responding like she doesn't know if the dress is going to work out. Oh, hell no. Send the dress back, bitches. Fuck you guys.
This is not going to work.
And after they fucking fucked up the bill, send the dress and the bill back. She can refund you minus the cost for sending and for the damage you did.
Why didn't y'all call me? I said, why didn't y'all send me pictures and photos? The dress was perfect. We fit the dress on your daughter several times before she left. There was nothing with the fit that we changed after she left our fittings. We didn't change anything. We only added the crystal and finished the dress up. I said, so the fit never changed because we did not adjust anything.
And so now she's saying, in relation to them claiming they didn't know the dress was gonna work, she's like, there's no way for that dress to all of a sudden not be working because there's nothing that had changed to the fit. The only thing that changed was more crystals added.
Sizing. So I don't understand how anything could have got from me with the fit model where it was perfect on your daughter before that at her fittings, which was perfect, fit her perfect, and then get to you again and then it doesn't work. So it doesn't make sense to me. I'm like, why didn't y'all call me? Why aren't you sending me pictures? Why aren't you FaceTiming me? Why didn't you like?
And she's also saying it doesn't make sense to her that if there's an issue with the dress, why didn't they call, send pics, FaceTime if there's an issue with the dress fit?
Take it to a seamstress or something like that. She's like, oh, we took.
And she's like, yeah, why didn't you take it to a seamstress?
Get to someone. I'm like, but you didn't call me. I would come out there in a minute to fix that dress. Even though I was upset about the balance, if they really would have reached out to me and said that, I would have come out there, But
and now she's saying, even though she's upset about the balance, if they had reached out to her in a timely way, letting her know, she would have gone out there to fix that thing.
The correspondence, they ignoring me, the not responding, not telling me they don't have the dress, it was all just so crazy. And I'm like, why would you wait this long to say something to me? Like, it does not make sense to me. So anyway.
And yeah, she's saying it doesn't make sense to her that they waited that long to say anything, because you know what I'm saying? Because she was trying to communicate with them. Yeah, I can.
We get to maybe a few hours after that. I'm like, since y'all don't want to let me know what's going on, I told you, take it to a seamstress. You're denying that. She said, no, she's not taking it to a seamstress. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that. I'm not taking it to a seamstress. No, I don't want to. I said, okay, since you're denying that, just give me the dress back. Since something is wrong with it, y'all don't want to show me, you don't want to send me pictures, just give me the dress back. They said, no, send a ship it label. I said, no, I'm not sending anything. At this point, I done took enough losses, y'all done played enough games. You ship the dress back by FedEx before they close at 4 o'clock.
So she was basically asking them to ship the dress back, and they were trying to tell her that she needs to pay them or pay for the dress to be shipped back to her. And she was like, no, because she already took enough losses on this, and it was on this point on them to ship the dress back to her.
Or I'm going to get it. I already booked my flight because I saw the day prior that they were playing games. I'm going to come get the dress out.
She basically said she'd already booked her flight, so if they didn't send the dress back, she was going to go get it herself.
I will give you time before it's time for my flight to board to send me confirmation that y'all are going to ship the dress back, since y'all clearly are saying you're not going to use it. Ship it back. Okay, I gave her time. When it was time for me to board my flight.
And she was saying since they said they weren't going to wear the dress, she gave them time before she boarded her flight for them to send her confirmation that they're going to ship it back to her, but she didn't receive that. So
I let her know it's 30 minutes before I have to board this flight. Please send me the tracking confirmation so you can ship my dress back, because if you're not going to use it, just give it back, because the games y'all been playing the past 2 days is just crazy. I was very upset. Okay, so we get to the time to get on the class. I'm getting on the flight. I'm letting you know I will be there by 8:15 to retrieve the dress. So she knew because she was texting me and
so she basically, they texted her, or she texted them letting them know she's calling for her dress. She let them know what time, and they knew because they texted
telling me, oh, what time will you get there? And she also asked me what time the FedEx closed. I told her, so she was very well aware that
so she was asking what time she arrived when the FedEx closed. So that she was aware. Okay, let's see.
I was coming to get that dress because she didn't ship it. Okay, so once I got there, Grand Junction, I text her. I let her know, hi, I'm here. I'm here to get the dress. I text her from 8:15 up until 1 o'clock in the morning every 30 minutes to say, hello, I'm here. Hello, can you let me know where to come? I did not want to show up at anyone.
So she goes to Colorado to get the dress, but she keeps texting her. She's here to get the dress, trying to find out where she can pick it up.
Address unannounced or without permission. I text them every 30 minutes, Raylee and the mother, several times, every 30 minutes to let them know, please tell me where you are so I can come and get my dress. I'm here to get my dress.
So she texts them every 30 minutes trying to go get her dress, letting them know she's here to get her dress and wanting her
dress. I'm at the airport. I'm 10 minutes away. I was there to get my dress and they would not correspond with me, and I'm going to show the screenshots. So from there, I have not heard from them.
And they didn't correspond with
them. Whatever games have been played, I truly cannot tell y'all. All I know is the dress is stolen. I don't have the dress. I can't get any responses from her or her family.
And so she's saying at this point the dress is stolen because she's done everything she can to get the dress back. So you can say, oh, she didn't pay for them to ship it. No, because she didn't trust them bitches. Why is she going to pay money for people she doesn't trust if she doesn't know if they're going to give it? So she literally took it upon herself to fucking go. You know what I'm saying? Wow.
Members, I'm blocked on social media, all platforms, just like everybody else. And this was before the internet stuff started. They have not texted me, emailed me, corresponded with me.
And so she's saying she got blocked on everything before the internet stuff started. So they can't even say, oh, the internet thing is why. No, that's why she took it to the internet, because she couldn't reach them. So where else is she going to go? You know what I mean?
Said anything in regards to giving my dress back, paying the balance, or anything. So I'm in the dark about everything. So yes, the dress is stolen 100%. No one knows what even happened at that wedding because they won't post pictures. It's all a mystery. It's all crazy.
Yeah, now she's saying the dress is stolen. No one even knows what happens at the wedding because it's all a mystery. Nothing's been published because they stole that shit.
Because the thing is, if you didn't want it, just give it back. But the games that were played those days that they had the dress, to me, makes absolutely no sense. So that's the story. And also, for the people that really want to contribute and help out, I made a GoFundMe. I've never.
This ties back to where I said I think they're devaluing her labor, because to act like they didn't want the dress or like there's something wrong with the dress is just so fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're just devaluing her labor. They're just trying to steal from her.
Done anything like this before. I thank you all. Y'all want to help pay my employees and pay for the losses and the distress and everything that I've gone through. The link is in my bio. Thank y'all so much for going to bat for me about this. Unfortunately, I still haven't heard anything. I don't know what's going on. I don't know where the dress is. I don't have the money. So that is the story about the stolen dress. It is a stolen dress 100%. I'm gonna post the screenshots in the next video. Thank y'all.
She did say a link was in her bio, and she was thanking people for sending money and then said the link is in my bio. I wonder why people are sending money. Like, if it's to help with a legal fee. Okay, so the rest of this video isn't about the story. I go into, you know, talking about those other things. But, so, yeah, at this point, though, like, it was still not computing how would a business owner lie. And I'm still not sure that Casze or Cenderra was actually ever lying about whether or not the dress was stolen or not. I just see why people think she was because of these other things that took place, which we're gonna look into. Um, because and I still haven't seen like with all the evidence that was shown, I haven't seen evidence that changes my mind based on my questions. And I honestly might play that presentation at double speed at the end of this bitch. But yeah, fucking okay. So moving on. Um, Next, we're going to look at just another video that Casze posted real quick. And we'll check that out at 1.75 times speed. Here we go. Alrighty. So we got a new video here. Part of an issue was they were claiming that something was wrong with the train of the dress. And so here we have video evidence of what the train of the dress looked like. And so I'm going to mute real quick and we'll just look at this quick little video here from Casze Z. I want to take you to Paris for you. I want to go to my... So it shows this gorgeous train. It's very beautiful, lots of crystals. And you can see from this video there doesn't seem to be any issues with the train at this point. So I'm not sure what the issue was that they claimed. I just know allegedly something they thought was wrong with it. I'll say and enjoy you. I want those guys in your DMs to talk to themselves and tell all their friends that they know you. I want to make you forget about your ex. And then it shows the sketches as well. And then here we have another video where she shows the sketches. She's saying disregard the split on the sketch was wrong. Her sketch confirmed is on her left leg like the real model here. So as far as we know, she was okay with this slip here. She seemed to try on and be cool with it that way. And so for me, it does look like they, from whenever you draw a dress, how it can look in reality can be a bit different from the design based on the material you ended up using. So with the material given, I feel like this design matches this dress. I feel like the only way it could have matched the design better is if instead of using crystals and doing a crystal gown, if they did the crystal part up front for the bodice, but then for the skirt, did some type of like lace, perhaps. I think that would be the only thing that would make it look more like a sketch. But other than that, it's like the way the design is happening on the crystals. The only way that it could look even more like the sketch with the crystals as is if more crystals were added. And I would imagine the only reason more crystals were not added would be due to a budget limitation, And so either more crystals or a different fabric would be the only way to get it to look a bit more like that, in my opinion. I don't know if I'm making sense. But yeah, let's see what this video is.
So let's see, do these dresses, which are the sketches from the bridal gown, look like what we produced since?
So it's hard for me to hear, but I feel like she's asking if these dresses look like the sketches produced, if they look alike to you. I think the one on the right, no question, absolutely. The one on the left, I think this is as real as it can get within the constraints of material and budget. You know what I'm saying? But the top part, no question. The only thing that could make the bottom part more, you see how it has more layers of like a line going down, like a droop? If you had more crystals, it could do that, or a different material. It's the only way I would, you know what I'm saying?
We produce something completely different.
So yeah, I don't know what the fuck she just said after that. But yeah, that was that video. And so from here, Epic Maiden posted that he had a new update. I did watch this before, and whenever I watched this before, I don't remember catching a new update from what we've previously gone over, but I figured it could still be a good recap. And if there is a new update. Alright, and then in that video just goes into commentary from other people. And so sticking to just what Raylee and Casze are saying here, let's keep going. Well, and my commentary, obviously, for the most part here. We're going to go back up to 1.75 speed here. And now we're in the Raylee Shares Evidence video. We're going to start off here with Raylee Responds, and we'll check that out. And shit, I have thought about taking out this phone call part, but I think I will leave the phone call part in there because honestly, I find it extremely relevant. And then we're gonna end after the Rayleigh reaction. We're gonna come back to this video later for the Ro Junsu story. But yeah, all right, let's do it. So now what we finally have is Rayleigh speaking out after the wedding. So we've got two parts here. It's about 15 minutes of content, so I imagine it's gonna take me at least 30 minutes to cover this. Yes, so let's get started. You know what? I think this is a shit without captions. Okay, so I might be repeating a little bit extra, so my bad. It's not playing for me. Gonna try reloading this.
Hey everyone, this is Rayleigh. You've probably seen me all over TikTok, but now that things have calmed down a little bit, I'm ready to tell you guys the truth. The reason I haven't gotten on here and said anything is I was getting married and dealing with family being in town, friends, and trying to enjoy being a newlywed. The reason I'm speaking out now is I have found some professional advice, and I was not happy with Cenderra starting
So she's saying she did not speak out before because she was trying to basically enjoy her wedding, and she waited till she got advice.
GoFundMe because most of her information has been so far from the truth, and I'm ready to tell you guys the truth. To set the record straight, I did not wear the dress that Casze, LLC, or Cenderra White made.
Oh, it's Caze? Shit, my bad. I've been saying Caze. Dude, I don't know how to fight to say this thing. Is it Caze? So I don't think whether or not she wore the dress is relevant to the question of whether or not she stole it. But you know what? I'm still interested in hearing the story.
I'm waiting on photos back from my photographer so that I can show you guys, but I'll show you guys the ones that I have now because it was an unplugged ceremony, so I do only have a few of me in the dress that I had to buy 2 days before my wedding. Here's one of the photos from my ceremony. Here is another picture of me right before the ceremony, and
so like as we could see in the previous video, I can see kind of why she's showing this because people were asking and saying, well, you probably stole it to wear it at your wedding anyway, and that's why we're not seeing pictures. I was seeing that type of ideology out there, so I can see why she's showing this, like, okay, I didn't wear that dress, I was wearing another dress, if that's what she was wearing. I will still say that for me, it doesn't change whether or not the dress is stolen, so I am looking forward to seeing the evidence related to that I'm looking for.
Here's a photo of me right after the ceremony. As soon as I get photos from my photographer and videographer, I will absolutely post them to here from the ceremony so that everybody can see that I did not wear the dress from Caze. Okay, so here is the contract as you.
Okay, so this is the contract. Let me read this. The contract says, I, Raylee Rickovina, consent to doing business with, is it Caze? I've been saying Casze. Caze or Casze, LLC on February 19th, 2024. February 19th, 2024. This is not, that doesn't sound like a rush order to me. Is 6 months considered rush order in the couture world? You know what I'm saying? I understand that either Casze or Caze, LLC, is producing custom couture designs. The fabric material is chosen specifically for each design. For regular couture garments, such as cocktail dresses, jumpsuits, etc., I will allow 1 to 3 months. Formal wear, 2 to 3 months. And for bridal wear, 3 to 6 months. That is well within the time that she says that she needs. This allows time for sourcing, production, and finishings. The completion date is August 10th, 2024. Okay, here it is. Okie dokie. The description of my design is as follows. 2-in-1 bridal gown. Short silver embellished fringe dress base with off-white detachable train. Short dress will be on white mesh corset base. Neckline will be constructed with a combination of half moon and sweetheart neckline, refer to sketch. Beaded fringe with beaded tassel on end of fringe at the bottom of dress, with some rhinestone fringe mixed. Detachable waist train with crystal overlay with silver rhinestone, sequin, and beads ombre effect. Denser to lighter. The train length will be cathedral, 8 feet long. And it says, by signing this consent form, you agree to the following terms and conditions. Provide a valid photo ID or license. You agree to pay a deposit for your item. Pay remaining balance or pay in full. There is no refund for partial payment or balance paid in full. If the item is not picked up by 12 business days, you forfeit ownership. 12 business days to forfeit ownership? God damn, look at that. DocuSign by Raylee Rickovina, 84F6F BTCA4A3. The email address, rayleerickovina@gmail.com. Damn, she doxed herself for this. Project amount, $6,290. Date, February 19th, 2024. Phone number, I'm not reading that, but it's here. She fucking doxed herself for this shit. That's how you know that, okay, whether or not I think that she stole the dress, I do believe that she came into it from a good place and wasn't going into it to steal. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? You know if that makes sense? So yeah. Do I still, because going back to that first source I showed, with just that, what I understand from what I've seen in the law, you know what I'm saying? So I do believe, according to the contract, Raylee and Caze are both in violation of the contract. You know what I'm saying? Because if Caze, I mean, if Raylee never paid in full, she's in violation of the contract that she signed. If Caze didn't deliver on time, she's in violation of the contract. An argument could be who violated first, would be up to attorneys. I would assume that Caze or Casze or whatever her name's argument is going to be is that because Raylee didn't pay it in full or whatever, she's going to use that in her legal defense is what I'm assuming. I would like to reiterate here the difference between the amount that was charged to Raylee Rickovina versus the amount in the GoFundMe. Even though Cenderra admitted she discounted the dress or claimed she discounted the dress for Raylee, I do think it's interesting that she's asking for more on the GoFundMe page than she is than what she charged Raylee for. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, all right, let's see what else there is to say.
You can see right here, it was a total of $6,290 for the Caze dress. $6,290 is what we agreed on for this dress, and as you can see right here, August 10th, 2024 was supposed to be our completion date. As you can see, we signed this 2/19/2024, and she states in her contract that bridal wear is 3 to 6 months. 9 days shy of 6 months was her time frame for this dress, and she still went 12 days over. As you can see in this contract, there's literally no discount stated whatsoever. I realized at the time of making this.
So I can totally see your point. She was basically reiterating what we just discussed, and she was also saying like no discount was ever made known to her if there was a discount. You know what I'm saying? I could see that. So I do think it's interesting that a discount was said to be she was given, but on her end there was none. I could totally see that. You know what I'm saying? I think that that song on TikTok that's trending where it's like, fuck it, guess we both ate shit. I really feel like that kind of applies here, but am I wrong for that? But I guess in this situation, right? Like, she didn't pay in full, she didn't deliver a good service, you're even. You know what I mean? Well, it would have been that way if Caze didn't go balls to the wall on making sure that, like, everybody thought, in my opinion, that Raylee stole the dress, in my opinion. Now, did Raylee steal the dress? Perhaps. Perhaps. But I do think it's interesting the way this narrative has unfolded, the way the story has unfolded, the way, and what is it doing for me though? It's really leading me to really reconsider my own content development. And so, Raylee, I apologize for any harm it's causing for you, but thank you for being a lesson to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be making sure that I do better with my content production on. But I do feel that I did try to. But at the same time, I did it. I did. I do feel I did try to. In the ways that I was trying to put both sides out there, given the information available to me. In a way, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like where I was trying, I could see that. But at the same time, I formed my opinion and I stated that opinion, I think the biggest thing I did wrong was using the headline. In every other instance that I discussed this, I think I did a relatively good job of making it clear my opinion, my belief, why I think what I think, right? Versus the one headline that I used and the playlist name title previously that I used. The headline on that first video on the Marketing Sunday where I had called it Raylee Rupavina steals dress from Caze or Casze or whatever the fuck her name is, something like that, from her. So I had called the playlist that, and I had called the part of my video title that, right? I think something like that. And so I think those two things are probably where, in the future, I need to make sure that I better understand and pay attention to how these words will impact someone's SEO. And so that way people can go click, get that full story, and not you, because even I could say, oh, well, it's clickbait, because when you click, you find out it's just an opinion. But should you use a title that can be clickbait? You know what I mean? No. So that's not where I'm going. I'm just saying I know it could come off that way, but that's not how it was supposed to be, because and at the time, I was going where I thought the information was, right? Because I think it's interesting the way that Cenderra presented the text messages and the evidence at the beginning really does lead you to believe, like, she has the evidence but wasn't sharing more not to dox anybody, right? That's really what it led you to believe. But here you go, because where Raylee's like, fuck it, I'm doxing myself. Now what? Next move. You know what I'm saying? That's what I feel just happened here. Like, it's one thing to show evidence, but to fucking dox yourself? I mean, when you're a business owner, in some ways, you already do that because you have to do business in some ways. You have to register and create these public things, but I don't know. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm still tripping on this. Okay, let's keep going.
This video that the GoFundMe has been taken down, but you can see this total price, and I will show you the deposit that we paid, showing that the GoFundMe is completely false. This is the emailed receipt from Caze of us paying 60%.
Okay, so she has paid half of it up front. I will say, because we've already kind of showed the source for that earlier, and then we looked at, according to the terms of your contract as well, between those two concepts, I still think that Raylee Caze, Cenderra may have initially and still could potentially have that legal argument on whether or not the dress is stolen in that one case. But what I do think is a separate case, whether or not something is true isn't the only element to defamation and slander and libel. And those three things differ based on whether or not it was printed or said, and things like that. So all of these things have multiple elements in order to, but whether or not something is the truth isn't the only. And even if it's true that the dress may have been technically stolen by way of the contract with that loophole, when you look into the, it must be paid in full, you agreed that, you consented to that. Even if you paid half of it up front, if you didn't pay the rest, you still signed the contract saying you would. So she might be able to use that in court. But I do think that Raylee might have an entirely separate case regarding some sort of defamation claim regarding the way all of this went down. And I think my live streams might be proof of that in terms of documenting everything. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying? Okay.
Of the bridal gown, right here. Here is the invoice. As you can see, this is the total, $6,290, and it was a 60% deposit for $3,774. And swipe back if you need to, but the other picture that I just showed was the paid invoice. Before I jump to her sending the dress in August, I want to brief you guys on what has happened from February all the way till August. In the beginning, we met with her on a Zoom consultation to take measurements and get all of those measurements sent to her, and then she stated that she would be sending me swatches of the fabric she was going to use for the dress. I never received those. I flew from Colorado to Miami for our first fitting in the beginning of April, and her team and her did not give us a location or a time until literally the night before, which was my last day there. For the second...
Okay, I actually have a theory about that, but I can't fucking say it. But if I get permission to discuss some certain things that I found out, then I'm going to come back to this later on why I think this could have happened.
Fitting, I flew down to Miami. I was there for a total of 5 days trying to do our second fitting. During those 5 days that I was in Miami, I continued trying to communicate with Cenderra and her team. And on the night before, the last day that we were supposed to be there, Cenderra texted and just canceled our second fitting altogether. Since our second fitting was canceled, I continued asking for photos. After the second fitting, I continued asking for updates or photos of my dress. Caze customer service agreed to a Zoom call for June 16th that was supposed to be with a customer service agent and Cenderra. When we got on that Zoom call, Cenderra was nowhere to be found. We even pushed that Zoom call back 30 minutes from the original time we were supposed to do it, waiting for her, and she never showed up to the Zoom call. So we had the Zoom call with a...
Yeah, I can definitely see like all of the reasons that I'm glad this is all coming out in terms of I can see all the reasons there seems to be customer service issues here. There seems to be issues in the sales funnel and with the business processes on this back end. And so I do think it's interesting for this to all come out. I think it's a lesson for business owners to consider as well. Like, what is your intake system with your client? What is your production system? How are you balancing? Creating a sustainable process and routine for your employees to manage the workload that you're taking on and things like that. These are other things that we can now put into consideration.
The customer service rep from Casze, and yet still no photos of the dress. The customer service rep stated that she would get photos for us from Cenderra as soon as she could, but that didn't happen. I continued asking for updates and a date for our final fitting, which she did inform me 10 days out from my final completion date for the dress. So I had to buy a last-minute flight from Grand Junction to Miami to get there from August 9th to the 11th. I didn't get a photo of the dress.
I thought that's when the dress was supposed to be completed by according to the contract. So now I wonder, when the lawyers are arguing, are they going to argue, on her side, are they going to argue, well, you didn't finish the dress in time, so therefore you didn't receive the full payment to pick up the dress because it wasn't done in time to pay you in time, right? Or is her side going to argue, well, you didn't pay us in full, so we couldn't put it together in time? I wonder how that's going to work out. Because I do understand that you could both end up arguing that they're in breach of contract, but at the same time, it doesn't negate, in my opinion, what each one did. It just shows they both, didn't uphold their end of the deal in this case, in my opinion, potentially. You know what I'm saying?
Until 4 days before the completion date, which was August 6th is when she sent it. This is the video of my dress that she sent me 4 days before the completion date. This is nothing what we agreed upon. I was absolutely sick when I saw this. Here's another angle.
Yeah, I can see why you that wouldn't be, what you were going for. And just, in my opinion, if this is what was shown in the final video, I don't think this is what was shown in the final video, is it? Or if it was, it is something really cool with the lighting and the photography to make it look good, but I don't think this is what is shown in the final video either.
I never asked for this many pearls. The boob cups are absolutely terrible, and this point is completely wrong. It's not even a point which we spoke about in our very first fitting.
So she's taking creative liberties with the dress. It didn't come out the way it was supposed to either. Okay, I'm seeing that too. In terms of, I get it. If it's one thing, like if you want to be the type of person where you're just like, I'm going to make you what the fuck I want to make you, and you can either wear it or not, bitch, that's fine, but you have to advertise yourself as such. In my opinion, if you advertise yourself as someone who is going to take a custom order, you in my opinion, need to do your best to make it to that specification. In my opinion, you know what I mean?
If she would have sent me photos or videos.
And another thought is, if somebody, like in certain cases, like for me with graphic design or marketing, there will be limitations on my ability to fulfill something to meet the specifications they want. But I do my best to discuss that with them before anything starts and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So that also needs to be considered in my opinion.
Throughout this process, we could have not done this. At this time, I also asked her for a video or photo of the actual detachable skirt, which she could not provide to me because get this, when I got there, they hadn't done anything to it. The skirt had zero design. It was absolutely white. It looked like it hadn't even been touched.
Wow. And with the photo for that to be that, like, yeah, I don't know how long. So this does look really good to me. I don't know how long this takes to complete, but for it to be, this is when you're supposed to be picking this up and it's not done yet, like that is unacceptable in my opinion.
This is August 9th. The skirt, mind you, untouched. This was August 10th, the day I should be taking this dress home. The overlay here is pinned on, and it was supposed to follow every pleat of the skirt, and when I got it, it did not.
Yeah, this does, I can definitely see why there is an issue. I think at this point, what I would recommend for anybody else in this situation, so you don't ever get into a situation where it becomes something that could explode to something like Raylee and Casze or Casze, is at this point, you need to just document it and get your legal advisor on. If it reaches this point with your wedding dress design, you need to start focusing on how can you get your money back and where can you get a dress from. And because at this point, you can see where it's not, the communication isn't working out all along. It's not going to work out in time. And, so at this point, if she had to pay half of it, she could have used the other half to go get her a new dress and things like that real quick. It wouldn't have been what she wanted, but it would have been better. And she could have done that same design on another occasion, right? With a different color or something perhaps. But for this, it's like she could have done it in silver for another or something. But yeah, fucking, because the vision would have worked out. You could see where it was going. I can definitely see why she's not satisfied with the end result. I do think, if she could have afforded an attorney at this point, that's where it would have been good to get an attorney to step in on your behalf and do the communication for you for that legal representation. Like if I were a bride and this happened to me, I would be getting someone I know who is an attorney to step in for me. Because anything over, I think, $600 to $1,000 at that point might be worth getting an attorney involved on, in my opinion. So yeah, I do think there are things in this case not to victim blame either, because I feel like we're at a point where both of them are like before. I'm talking before Casze did the internet video thing. I feel, and I can see how both parties have wronged each other. Previously, I felt that Cenderra was the one wronged, right? That's where I was completely. Now I feel that even though Cenderra may have been wronged, because I'm still not seeing something yet that leads me to believe something different regarding evidence for if the dress was stolen, even if she was unhappy with the dress. But what I am seeing is because I'm not seeing evidence on that yet, but I am seeing evidence that Cenderra wronged her too. You know what I'm saying? And she didn't go call out Cenderra the way Cenderra did her. She was trying to focus on her wedding, right? And so like if she had, so for me it was like whoever sing like it's like when two kids are fighting and then one kid goes and tells the adults, but they were both being little butt heads to each other. You know what I'm saying? You know, sometimes when kids fight, it's definitely because one kid's being an asshole to the other kid, and you're like, yo, this kid's an asshole, what the fuck? But sometimes, you know, when kids will just be fighting over stupid shit, right? And so, you know, you're both being little shitheads right now, right? No offense to kids. I love kids. I have a niece. My niece is my favorite fucking person, so I don't want to be acting like I don't like kids, talking about like kids this way. I'm just summarizing, right? So you know what I mean? So in one way, it's kind of like that, where whichever kid goes and tells the parent first is sometimes the one coddled. You know what I mean? I kind of feel like that's what happened with the internet in a way, in my opinion. Does that make sense, or am I wrong for thinking that? I don't know, right? But yeah, so I feel like this should have just stayed in court. It shouldn't have come potentially to social media. In my opinion, would have been the best thing for Kazazi's business, in my opinion, because now we're at a level where things are coming out about Kazazi that a can of worms has opened, and I don't know if she's gonna be, you know, once the cat is out of the bag, it's gonna scratch you a lot if you try to put it back in, probably. You know what I'm saying? You better get Trank gun. I don't know. You know, I don't know what the fuck I'm saying.
This dress was supposed to be custom to my body, my fit, and we had to cinch me in so much because she used E6000 glue to glue all the gems on. As you can see, this is August 10th. This is supposed to be the completion date, and that dress is not even close to being done.
I wonder how she can tell it's that glue specifically. She's like naming the specific fucking glue it is. She's like, bitch. You know what I mean? So I can see, like, I can definitely see on this perspective why there is issue on the client side. I do feel that for a legal argument to counteract, you know, the concept of a stolen dress, which possibly should have been done for anybody else that finds them in a situation like this, would be to not do, you know, to create legal documentation or at least some form of paper trail via email and text messages regarding the issues with the dress for your legal protection. You know what I'm saying? And doing best efforts to hold the designer accountable that they are, you know what I'm saying, missing the mark on your item this way. But does that still justify you taking the thing and not paying in full for it? You know what I'm saying? Like, I agree that there are definitely discrepancies in Kazazi's story. I definitely think that there are things that she is doing, Cenderra is doing, where it's like, this does not seem ethical to me. But at the same time, because of the contract you signed, whether or not we agree with it, she may still have that legal leverage over Raylee, according to the contract, even though both violated it. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. However, if they both violated the contract and the contract is breached and the contract is now void, I think what will default is state law, in my opinion. And then the state law that defaults is going to be based on the court in which the trial occurs, I think. And I believe that may happen. So it depends, because sometimes with e-commerce, you can make an argument to get it done in your own state if you made the purchase in your state, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes with e-commerce, you might have to make that court happen in the state. You might have to file in the state where the business, you know, where she flew into, which I can't remember, because I know there's a Miami location and a Georgia location, so I can't remember which location she flew into, if it was the Florida or the Georgia one. But she's going to have to go into one of those locations, potentially, to do the court case, I think, depending on how that jurisdiction works out. I'm not an attorney. I don't know. I'm just theorizing. I'm just talking shit. I don't know anything about the law. I have worked for 3 different law firms, but I don't know shit about the law. I don't know if I get to count the 3rd one. I've worked for 2.5. I'm sorry. Fucking, dude, I got story time on that. I really want to tell it, but I can't fucking tell it, but I really want. Wait a minute. Did I respond to an email? Bro. Hold on. I gotta make sure I responded to an email. Hold on. Is that today? About if I can one day, but today is not that day. So, all right.
This is the dress on August 11th. I was supposed to take it home with me on the 11th. The completion date was supposed to be the 10th. As you can see, it is still rubbing me on my breast so bad. The pearls are not finished. There was so much more that was still not finished with the dress, so I wasn't able to approve it before I left. Cenderra stated that it wasn't ready for me to take home and that she would overnight ship it by August 15th so that I would get it by the 16th. I continued asking for updates and photos throughout this time. She refused to send me any. She promised August 10th in her contract and then promised August 15th while I was there, and neither one of those dates were met. Now, 3 days before my wedding, she sends me 2 blurry videos of the dress, and I ask her to resend them or FaceTime me, anything, so that I can at least see what is going on. Pause to read these.
Okay, so the text messages from Cenderra. It says, I believe the blue is from her and the white is from Cenderra. And it says, I just sent you a message through WhatsApp. Can you also send me a video of the corset dress with the skirt? I'm waiting for it. Let me know when you send it. Would you be able to, would you be able to FaceTime me instead? I really can't tell with the videos. It's so blurry. And this is with Cenderra, and this is what she told Cenderra. Cenderra replied, we are sending them all now. And I'm at FedEx. We'll send tracking shortly. And she responded, I can't tell in the video if the belt is right. I need you to send me more photos so I can confirm the belt and the corset dress. I don't think the belt part of the skirt is right. I need a photo of the front of the skirt too. And Cenderra responded, we are sending them all. One moment.
This is all of the text messages that happened right after she sent me a blurry video of the dress that I couldn't even tell or proof. She states that she's already sending them without me even proofing them. Mind you, this is Tuesday night. She then sends me a tracking number. This is the original tracking number she sent me on.
Okay, the original tracking number. I wonder how a fake one was sent. Like, I don't, because I don't understand enough about their procedure to know how it would have been done in that way. For me, all of it, like, the tracking number and everything like that is auto done for me. And again, I do have my own online store at knowthedutchchild.com. Um, so yeah, for me to track everything is shipped. It's all done automatically for me. Like I would have to manually. I don't even think I can. I don't on my end. I don't think I can even influence your tracking number because my people do it for me. My suppliers do it for me. So you know what I'm saying. So like for me, it's just kind of like, I wonder how in which part of her system was she able to do that. I don't know. You know what I mean?
On Tuesday the 20th. I don't even know why I cover my address anymore because you guys have all posted it everywhere. She leads me to believe that this is the real tracking number that she dropped my package off at the FedEx. I call FedEx because it says we'll add a delivery date as soon as we get your package. I call them and I'm like, hey, do you have my package? They say no, she hasn't dropped it off yet. Then these are the text messages I asked Sin, can you
Okay, so here are the text messages. So she told Cenderra, "Hi Sin, can you send me the tracking number?" Cenderra sent a PDF. She said, "Thank you." Okay, so maybe the PDF was what was altered. That makes sense. So thank you. So the dress did not ship out last night, and she said, "Yes, we dropped it off right at the closing time, and a representative took it and locked the door. The label should update shortly. If not, we can go back up there. They know us, so it won't be any issues." She said, "FedEx is showing they haven't received it. Can you go check on it?" And she said, "Okay, yes, we will go if it doesn't update by 4 to 5." That sounds like pretty late to go check, though. You know what I mean? Considering closing time. Um, Also, did you receive the balance information? We honestly do not ship until the balance is paid in full, but I didn't want to delay anymore. So that's where I was going. Like they both violated each other. It looks like they both violated the contract in my opinion, potentially. So yeah, I'm not negating or disputing Should Raylee on her lived experience if she's not satisfied with what she paid for according to what she ordered. You know what I'm saying? Because before I was just talking about how great the dress was, but I didn't know the difference between what she wanted and what she got. You know what I'm saying? And when you order a commission dress, it is different, right? Versus someone being like, "Well, that's a nice dress."
You send me the tracking number. The dress isn't showing up in FedEx. She says she dropped it off, and we tracked it all day on Wednesday the 21st, and it still said, we don't have your package. She claims that she dropped the package off and doesn't have it. Pause to read this, but pretty much she says that it's out of her hands and they have it and they forgot to scan it in. FedEx scans as soon as you...
My mom used to be a FedEx courier. Hold on. I need to see something. Hey mom, I'm live streaming right now. I'm on a live stream right now. Anything you say can be heard on my live stream right now because I'm live streaming in your own speaker. Is that okay?
Sure, I guess so.
Okay, dokie. You know how you used to be a FedEx courier for how many years?
8.
8 years you were a FedEx courier. I have a question about the way FedEx processes packages. When you go bring a package and it's supposed to be sent overnight, what happens when FedEx takes that package?
I mean, it's when a courier gets it, they take it back to the station, and then it's routed either on a, if it's overnight, it's going to go on a plane, even if it's out of the city, typically. Sometimes it won't. Depends on the station manager and their particular rules. But if it's overnight, it goes on a plane, so that it can be, there's a couple of different routes that FedEx takes, depending on the urgency of the package. It's either going to be overnight and then put on a truck that's more straightforward from a hub to the location of that station, or it goes on a 18-wheeler if it's, standard overnight or something like that. And it also depends if it's priority overnight, it goes on a plane. If it's standard overnight, they might put it on the truck. There's not just one way to do it. It depends on that time frame and also how many packages are on a truck or a plane or
I
whatever.
have a question. So if I were to take a package to FedEx and it was supposed to be sent overnight and I got it to them before the close of the end of business day, before they close, so say they close at 6, I got the package to them by 5 p.m., would there be any way for that package to still be there the next day if I pay for it overnight? Would there be any way it wasn't sent until the next day?
Not unless someone really, made a huge mistake and, left it somewhere it shouldn't have been and it was overlooked or whatever, which, can happen. But no, usually it would go on out unless it got lost in transit. That's another thing that can happen. Or if the address was not correct, that would make it, that would delay it coming in.
It was going to another station. So, one more question. Is it possible to create or provide fake tracking numbers? Do you know that?
I think so. I think you can do that. You can definitely fake a tracking number. Not coming directly from, FedEx wouldn't fake it, but I could totally see someone that was scanning someone else to provide a picture of a fake tracking number. That you can Google it, AI it, or it'd be super easy.
Oh shit, thank you, Mom. Okay, so I'm still live streaming, so I'm gonna finish my live stream, but you are featured about 1 hour into my Full Stop Friday live stream. Thank you so much for being my source on how does FedEx process information, because if you watch this is related to a couture designer claiming that she overnight shipped the dress to a client, but the client did not receive the dress on time, and when the client checked for the package, it was showing her that it didn't even leave. She's claiming that first she got a fake tracking number, and then she's claiming when she actually got the right tracking number, she was told that it was overnight shipped, but the dress wasn't shipped until the day after she was told it was gonna be shipped.
Yeah, it sounds like there was some kind of miscommunication between when something is ordered and when something is shipped. So that's very common in the shipping and handling industry, that fulfilling the order is not the same thing as shipping the order. And sometimes it's a legit mistake, and sometimes people use that to cover up an error on their part.
Oh shit. Okay, thank you, Mom. I love you. I appreciate you.
Love you too. My first sponsor.
Yay. All right, I'm gonna hang up on you. I'm sorry I'm calling you just to use you for this, but I appreciate it.
Okay.
Bye. Okay, guys, had to get an expert. All right, fucking, you know what? I'm like, cause I just wanted to check with somebody who's used to work there. And my mom used to work at FedEx in Meridian, Mississippi for 8 years, and the FedEx in Meridian, Mississippi can back that up. They used to have a picture of my twin and I on the bulletin board. They might still have it there. Is that still there? If anyone from FedEx, Meridian, Mississippi, if y'all still have that, can y'all send me a picture of that bulletin board if it's still there? If anyone from FedEx sees that? All right, sorry, fucking let's do this, fucking bitch. Let's go. Let's see what the fuck she just said. I'm sorry, I'm like this. You're welcome.
You drop off your package. So I tracked the other tracking number that she sent me all day Wednesday, and then at 8 p.m. she sends me this. I finally got an update from FedEx with this new tracking number on Wednesday at 10 p.m. at night. Do what you will with this information, but you're not allowed to take your box off of the FedEx truck after it's already been given to FedEx.
So, here's what Cenderra sent her. She said, "We are here now scanning in. We are sending a new tracking number via email. The just weight was more than the original printed label, so it was voided." I'm going to show the screenshot of a package of a box with a label on it. And it says, "Updated tracking, and we waited to verify items scanned in and taken to back to be loaded on truck. FedEx tracking." Ooh. My mom just said that if it was overnight delivery, it would have been put on a plane, not a truck, in my opinion. My mom drove a truck. Ooh.
Here is the proof that it was not updated until August 21st, 10:08 when they got my package. You can see here that I didn't get it until August 22nd, Thursday at 10:57 a.m. Mind you, 48 hours before.
I'm still kind of entertained. "Hey, Mom, how long did you work there?" She's like, 8 years. They sucked the soul out of me. I'm just kidding. That could have been a great work environment. I actually have no idea. I was really young, so I don't remember much about like whether or not my mom liked it there or not. I just remember seeing her in the uniform. You know what I'm saying? She was working there like probably from when I was like 3 years old until I was about 11 or 12 is when my mom was working at FedEx, you know? And so when you're a kid, you don't pay attention to shit, right? Like, I mean, I do remember shit, but I don't remember that. What I remember would be like my mom coming home tired from work, but like we would put furniture cleaner, like hardwood cleaner all over the hardwood floors, so it'd be like super fucking slippery because then we'd run around with socks on our feet and slide all over the place. And so my mom comes in from work one day asking, she's like all like upset. I think she's asking us if we remember to take the fucking freezer out of the chicken out of the freezer to thaw. And she's like, comes in ready to bitch at us and just falls straight on our ass. I still remember that in her FedEx uniform. Anyway, I'm sorry. Okay, sorry.
I have to walk down the aisle. Okay, stay tuned for part 2. I have so many more receipts. Come back.
All right, so I can definitely see why she's not satisfied with the quality of the product. I will say, technically, do I think that Cenderra may still legally be able to claim that the dress is stolen? I still think there might be a claim there. Unfortunately, for Raylee, based on the contract signed. What the attorneys will may be able to do for her, though, is argue because of the breach of contract on both parts. Now that the contract is void, state law applies. So then I would really look into what state law is going to be. Let's assume it's Georgia. Whatever the state law is going to be is where it's going to default. And according to the attorney, I don't know. According to like what I found online legally, I think that stolen part of the dress itself or the purchase itself on that specific case, there's a chance it could still go in Cenderra's favor, even if there are a lot of facts about this situation that don't add up. You know what I'm saying? That does lead me to believe that Raylee is telling her truth. But I will say I still think that also Raylee has an entirely separate case potentially against Cenderra regarding possibility of things like something in relation to defamation. You know what I'm saying? Because even if it becomes proven true whether or not Rayleigh quote unquote stole the dress, there were so many discrepancies in the information that was put out there to where Rayleigh's going to be able to say, here are all of the lies told because of the evidence. And then Rayleigh's going to be able to say, here is the harm caused to my business. Here is the dollar amount placed on the reviews left on my business. Things like that to where, that's going to bite Cenderra in the ass potentially, I think. It could. You know what I'm saying? All right. It's being fucking refreshed. This is part 2.
Hey guys, welcome back for a part 2. If you haven't seen the first video, I beg you to go watch it. All the receipts are up, and I will be giving more right now. So picking up where I left off, you can see right here that I got the dress at 10:57 a.m. This is when I got the dress. I took it out of the package very nicely, and I put it on, and was instantly crying because of how bad it was. First of all, this belt was not supposed to be a belt. It was supposed to truly ombre down all the way to the bottom and get lighter as it went. This is not how it was supposed to look. Also,
I do remember reading that in the description of the contract that we read previously. So I can definitely see how this is not, like you can kind of argue that maybe it does that here, like a little bit right here between the corset and the dress, but I feel like based on the description, she wanted it to be more like a elongated gradient. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a very minimal gradient right here, in my opinion, if that makes sense, right? I can definitely see where there are issues with the dress. I still think it does fit her pretty well. I can see why she's unhappy with it, but I don't think, I still think it looks pretty good on her.
There's more tulle in this side of the dress than there is the other side. These points up here are completely off, and I will show more pictures of that. And
with like fabric, unbalanced fabric shifts on a dress. I don't know if those are the right words. You know what I'm saying? That type of stuff is to be expected when you buy something off the rack. But when you intentionally buy something custom fit to your body, I do agree that shouldn't be happening.
All of this close up later, but this is when I first got the dress. As you can see, I was absolutely devastated. Devastated. As you can see, the leg slit was supposed to be more open so you could actually see my leg, and right here in this photo, the rhinestones down the center are lined up, and that's where it's supposed to be. Now let me show you the back. This is the back. Do you see how far off to the right side that train is?
I absolutely see what she's saying. You see, yes, here, and then it's like, what is this, 2 or 3 inches to the right? Like, this is not right. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. I definitely understand why the train was such a big deal now when you look at this. I do think it's interesting with the video shown. It's hard to see it in that way, the way they show it. You know what I'm saying? And oh my gosh, yes. So I might have to do like a comparison. But yeah, wow, that's totally different. I could totally see that.
This is when the front is lined up how it's supposed to be. The train is completely off to the right side. Also, do you see the difference in size on the belt that she made? Mind you, I wasn't able to proof any of this because she sent me a blurry video.
I also see what you mean. Like on the left side, the belt is much thicker than on the right, and it's uneven. I totally see.
And she didn't send me a video with the corset in it. This was not supposed to be a belt. The entire skirt was actually supposed to be more.
I'm wondering, you know, the content where you had the model wearing this material, why was that ever sent to her, or where did the difference happen? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a big difference, right?
More saturated at the top with jewels, and then all as it goes down completely dissipate to almost no jewels at the bottom. Truly like an ombre, if that's the word. And honestly, go back to the contract and read. We never stated a belt. And please take the time to look at how far off this is compared to where the corset middle is. Please.
Again, I'm not negating, like, in hindsight, no, whenever I saw the initial photography videography put out about the dress from the designer, I could see why the way the designer showed it, it didn't look like it had these issues. Now, when she shows these issues, I can totally see why she doesn't like the dress, didn't want the dress, and shit wasn't going well with that deal. I will say, you know, going back, I feel like they both wronged each other. They both breached the contract. And so how it shakes out legally is going to be up to the courts and their attorneys. And I honestly think how this works out could literally be up to how good of an attorney each of them can hire. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to be honest, I'm wondering, you know, I don't know if, based on the past financial situation that I've seen, which will show coming up, I'm questioning if Casze or Casze Z will be able to hire an attorney, you know, adequately. I don't know who's.
I will show you guys a full video from the front all the way to the back so that you can see that this has not been shifted whatsoever. As you can see with this top, both sides are completely different shapes and different heights. Take a minute, zoom in if you need.
She is right. On the right side, it's more curved. The left side is more pointy. If you're talking about on her body, and on her body, the right side is higher. The left side seems to be lower. So yeah, these are things that shouldn't be occurring when you're paying this much for a custom dress.
Me too, but they're different. Here's another picture of the back. You can see how far off that train really is. And for the record, I will show another picture of me in the dress before all of these extra jewels were glued on with E6000, but I know how bad I look in this right now. And mind you, this was a custom dress made for my body type, and this is what it looks like.
I can definitely see the issues. Like when a dress is supposed to be customized for your body, you shouldn't be having the issue where the corset doesn't fit right here and things like that. Yeah.
I agree. I think it looks bad. I think it looks really bad on me. Here's a picture of me in the skirt before any of the crystals were added. You can see how much it snatches my waist, how nice all of this lays compared to now. It looks like it's in the middle, but I was also never given a mirror or set up so that I could even see the back. I was so devastated I couldn't stop crying over how bad the dress was when I got it. I was talking to family, trying to figure out if I needed to go buy a new dress. I was texting my seamstress asking if she could look at it.
So I do absolutely understand how on this side, like the whole experience for the bride has been ruined. Like I do think that Casze or Casze Z may have potentially just ruined her entire business on this, because how is a client going to trust you if you're not going to care about their experience, right? And when you look at the BBB reviews and you look at the content creator who spoke out and you look at this situation, even if you can argue what they both breached the contract, there's still an argument with looking at the procedural issues in business and the workflow issues. You know, there is a lot of questions to be raised about if you can trust this to be the deliverable that you need on your special day that's going to improve your day, you know?
I actually did have my seamstress look at it, and she said that there was too much wrong with it, that we weren't able to fix it in 2 days. I was so busy that day trying to figure out all of the wedding stuff, family getting in town. There was so much going on that by the time I finally texted her, this is what I said. You can.
So before also, I didn't realize that there were all of these things wrong with it. Whenever I'm thinking like, well, if it doesn't fit, if it's just a fitting issue, then it shouldn't be, you know what I'm saying? So that also greatly changes like my mind about a lot of the things related to the dress. According to the contract, and because I haven't seen any receipts to show that they paid for the dress in full or that they did send the dress back, though I still do stand on where I can see why Casze or Casze Z is arguing that it's stolen. However, I will say that they also too have arguments for legal issues, I think, regarding Casze or Casze Z, but I'm not an attorney to specify specifically what those are. But I mean, if I were really, you know, I'd definitely consult with my attorney, which I know she already has, about what those options are. So the text message she's showing says, I think this is from her to Casze or Casze Z, and it says, if you would like to fly out here tomorrow with your seamstress to fix your skirt, that can work. When the skirt is lined up with the front of the mini dress and large rhinestones, like the video you sent of the front, the back pleat is totally off to the right side of the skirt and needs to be moved to center. When the back center pleat is in the middle in the back, the front of the skirt and leg slit is totally showing both legs and almost to the center of my crotch. You know what? That does explain why we didn't see, she didn't walk around the dress. We either saw her the front of the dress or the back of the dress. We didn't see a 360. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that explains how they did with the videography and the photography the way it was done. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's it. Okay. And then she says, the leg slit is still showing the underneath fabric a ton, so you didn't pin it back enough. The top of their skirt was supposed to be trickling down, like teardrops or ombre, not a solid bow like it is. The overlay isn't even pinned all the way down to the skirt. It is flapping on the back and not sewn down, but 4 points. You said that the overlay would be flush with the skirt, following each pleat and being sewn to the dress. There's so much more that you missed. There are even safety pins left in the dress. Oh wow, yeah, so it does seem like it was put together without care in this regard. Okay, let's watch the rest.
Pause to read this. There it is. I gave her the option to come out and help me, and she didn't want anything to do with it. Pause to read, but this was August 18th after she told me she still.
So the other text message that she sent said, I did not receive any calls. I'm very concerned regarding the completion of the dress, which was originally scheduled for August 10th. It is now over a week past the due date, and you missed the second fitting appointment. Given the urgency of the situation, I cannot wait until Wednesday or further delays. It is crucial that this dress is shipped out by tonight. With my wedding date approaching, and considering the substantial investment I have made to ensure this is completed on time, it is imperative that everything is finalized immediately. I was expecting to take the dress home on the 10th, and the delay is causing significant inconvenience. I cannot wait to see if the shipping is delayed or doesn't make it in time. What would you do about the shipping not making it? Honestly, if you want to wait till Wednesday to ship it, I need you to fly out here in person. Otherwise, I need it finished by tonight and shipped out. Ooh, okay, let's see.
Still wasn't done from the original August 10th and then the 15th, and now she's expecting to ship it out Wednesday, and I asked her, can you bring it out here since you're so close to my wedding date? I was scared my package wasn't even going to get here, you guys. The only reason I was showing you guys that is because I wanted to show that I asked her to bring the dress out in case there was anything wrong with it so that we could nip it in the bud right away. But here is August 22nd at 7:45 p.m. This is when I texted her asking her to come and fix it now that it's not even 2 days from my wedding. Like, we are there. I gave her the option to come out and fix it in that last message.
Okay, so now this message says, do you realize the hardship that you caused me with sending me a dress that is not what we agreed upon? I felt that my wedding day is ruined. There's no way I can even wear this skirt because it is so bad. If you show up to my wedding or my house and trespass, law enforcement will be called. I expect us to come to a fair resolution. If you'd like to send me a prepaid label for me to ship the skirt back, I can. If you'd like the whole dress back, I need you to reimburse the entire amount of the dress, and again, a prepaid label for all of it to be shipped. I don't know, threatening the police on a black woman after you didn't pay for her dress in full, even if you don't like the dress, even, you know what I'm saying? Even if it arrived late and you don't like it. In my opinion, that is dangerous. It's weaponizing police brutality, death, and mass incarceration against a black woman. You should never, ever, ever call the police on anyone, but especially a black person, unless they're literally fucking threatening your life and that's the last fucking option because you're in fucking danger, or maybe you got into a car crash and you have to legally, right? Something like that. But for something like this, because you don't want her at your wedding, so you're gonna threaten to call the police on her for something she hasn't even done. You know what I'm saying? Overboard, that is threatening death on somebody. Do you not give a fuck? You never, hell no. What the fuck? No, bad, no. What the fuck, bitch? Fuck you, Raylee. Don't fucking do that shit. Threatening the police on a black person? Fuck you, Raylee. All right, let's keep watching. Because no, this is about life or death now. When you're threatening the police on a black person, you're basically threatening to fucking kill them, okay? No, fuck you. No fucking dress is worth that fucking bullshit. Fuck you.
Message, and then this was.
Oh wait, I forgot I was reading this. Hold on, let's see what else she said. My bad, I got mad. Fuck you. Okay, here's what else she said. She said, oh wait, did I read that? Shit, where did I fucking stop reading? Hold on, my bad. I got all pissy. This bitch is threatening the police. What the fuck, bitch? Fuck you. Okay, I stopped at prepaid label, I think. So then let's pick up that prepaid label. Where is that at? Okay. If you'd like the whole dress back, I need you to reimburse the entire amount of the dress, and again, a prepaid label for all of it to be shipped. Those are your options. We have already paid over half. So if you want just a skirt back and no money reimbursed, you can pay for the shipping. I don't think you understand the power imbalance when you're weaponizing the police and you're threatening a black woman with death in that regard. And fucking then after you, even if you don't like the product, okay? Even if you don't like the dress, threatening that black woman with death, which is what you're doing when you threaten the police on a black person, you're threatening them with death, in my opinion. Why isn't my captioner working? All right. Yeah, no. And then saying, well, I'm going to keep the money, I'm going to steal it until you give me money. That is kind of holding her work hostage. You know what I'm saying? Legally, you took the thing that you paid for. So there, you know what I'm saying? Legally, that's a breach. You can't be all like, well, because I'm breaching the contract and I have the power of possession over the thing you want, I'm going to threaten your life with the police, which is what you're doing, even if you don't intend it. That is the impact of calling the police on any black person under mass incarceration, under a police state, regardless of your intent. That is the impact. You never fucking ever put no. What the fuck? Anyway, and then whenever you're telling her what it's going to be and everything like that, this is very problematic vernacular, in my opinion. It doesn't look like a negotiation. It looks like you are making demands and you just want your demands met. And I get in a regard, you ordered something and what you ordered wasn't up to expectations. However, at no point in time did you ever say, let me get the attorneys involved. Let me take legal action in advance to protect yourself. Instead, you jumped right to weaponizing the police. That is so fucking dangerous. That is not okay. And then she says, I'm going to block you from now until after my wedding. This has caused me so much hardship. I am so disappointed and my heart hurts with how terrible this skirt is. In my opinion, you can't play victim when you're threatening somebody's life with the police. You know what I'm saying? So in my opinion, it doesn't matter if you are butthurt because your wedding dress isn't what you want it to be. To threaten law enforcement on a black person under the police state is disturbing, and it shows your privilege. So let's keep going.
My response after she blew my phone up. This was the day before my wedding, and I was supposed to be focusing on getting married, not a dress that was terrible. This is the rest of that message.
I don't know. Honestly, it's kind of like if you order a cake from a bakery or whatever, and you pay for the deposit on the cake, but you don't finish paying for the cake. And then you take the cake, you eat part of the cake, you decide you don't like the cake, so you're not going to pay for the rest of the cake, and then you're surprised if you get accused of stealing the cake. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, whether or not you liked what you stole doesn't change if you stole it. And using the fact that you didn't like what you stole, so you're going to weaponize the police over somebody, in my opinion, is harmful. Now, is there room to say that, yes, this is a problematic business that you still potentially could have stolen from? In my opinion. And now, these are all my opinions, this is all allegations based on what I know. None of what I'm saying is fact. It's just my understanding from the information I have available to me. I do have links to all sources in the description of this video and all of my videos. So under these regard, and you know what, I didn't put any information in there on mass incarceration, but I will link to some research I've done on mass incarceration after. So, and in regards to police brutality, I'm not the person to speak on that, but please fucking educate yourself. So yeah, fucking, and then she said, if you did not choose one of the above options now, then we would be happy to deal with this on Monday, but you're ruining my wedding day and can no longer communicate after this text till Monday. I have to refocus. In my opinion, you can't just decide you're going to wait until a certain day to decide whether or not you're going to return the item you didn't pay for. Like, because she showed up to Colorado and she was trying to communicate and you blocked her and you didn't communicate back, in my opinion, if she had communicated, she didn't block her, she hadn't communicated, given the dress back, we wouldn't be here now. So in my opinion, Raylee's acting like she did nothing in regards to the stolen aspect of the dress, but this kind of does show, and the source is linked in the description of the video, and it's the first thing I pulled up in this live stream, where it goes back to where the intent isn't going to negate the impact of the harm of your actions in this regard, and the prosecution may still feel that legally you could have still stolen the dress. If it wasn't paid for in full and you refuse to return it, then yeah, even if you decide you're going to return it later, it could still be technically legally stolen until it is returned, if it's not paid in full. You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean whenever I say that she stole the dress. I'm not saying for certainty if it's stolen. I'm just saying that's what I believe it is. You know what I'm saying? Okay, now let's keep going.
To read. I didn't ever actually block her because I sat my phone down and enjoyed my rehearsal day and my wedding day, but she full on tried to ruin my wedding, even though that dress was absolutely horrible when it got to me. She posted her first video about me on TikTok Friday night, the night before my...
To be honest though, if Cenderra got this message and then went off though, this isn't triggering traumatizing shit, so I can kind of see how Cenderra doing that might be a trauma response, potentially. You know what I'm saying? When you have a white woman weaponizing the police against you, what do? You know what I'm saying? So, and then when you have the white woman tears, is that what's happening? I'm just asking.
For my wedding, there's a reason I had to shut down all my social media. I was getting married. I told her that I would deal with this on Monday, and I also told her that the dress wasn't wearable. So she knew that I wasn't going to wear it, and she knew that I was going to talk to her again on Monday to get this dress back to her. After she posted all of those videos slandering me on social media, I knew that it was time to figure this out and let you guys know the truth. Between Saturday when I got married and Monday, I was getting threats on my phone between phone calls and messages.
Well, I mean, honestly, though, I feel like if she hadn't threatened the police on the designer, it probably wouldn't have gotten to this. If she had returned the dress and not threatened the police on the designer, then maybe the designer wouldn't have, gone online telling everybody about the situation. That's why I now think that it escalated the way it occurred. You know what I'm saying? There was just too many past substantial historical factors behind issues with this to where now this is involving trauma. It's not about just your wedding day. It's about you touched on somebody's personal trauma. You know what I'm saying? I'm just putting that out there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's discrimination. That's, you know what I'm saying? In my opinion. But yeah, fucking, my captioner is being fucking weird. Let me refresh this damn thing. Hold up. So yeah, I still believe that there's definitely, so now I'm thinking there's definitely issues with Caze's business, or Casze or Caze, I don't know how to say her name. There's definitely issues with the business. I'm not denying that. I'm not denying whether or not, Raylee was satisfied with the end result. What I am saying is based on the information available to me, could it legally technically be stolen? Perhaps. My opinion. But that's up for attorneys to work out.
My phone was blowing up through social media. My business, the salon that I work at, and even salons that I don't work at any longer were getting terrible reviews from people that hadn't even heard any side of my story. Even some of my friends' businesses were being harassed because of all of this. You don't have to like the decision that I made to wait until Monday to deal with any of this, but I had to based off of the fact that
I'm more upset you fucking threatened the damn police, bitch. What the fuck? Are you that malicious or that ignorant? That's what I want to know. Was that out of malice or complete fucking ignorance? Because what the fuck, bitch?
That I was getting married. I wanted to enjoy being a newlywed without any of this extra drama. I never said that I wasn't going to ship the dress back, and I also never said that I wouldn't pay. I told her that we would chat on Monday so that I could get the dress back to her, and I also told her that I was not able to wear it.
But you hadn't paid yet, and you hadn't shipped yet, even though she had tried to get it from you. So, in my opinion, based on what Raylee Recavina is showing, she did not because I previously discussed in my live streams what I would need to see in order to not think the dress is stolen. And I have not seen that. I have not seen Raylee shown that she actually did ship the dress back and gave the dress back. And I have not seen Raylee shown that she paid for the dress in full. In fact, she's proved that she did the opposite. So because of that, I still think that even if I, think that Caze is problematic with the way she does business, I still think Caze has a case for theft in this case. And I still think that even if I don't like Raylee, because I perceive her as a conservative who weaponizes police brutality against Black people, I still think that she may have a case for defamation. However, I don't think it would be ethical for her to pursue it, because I think there's a big difference between a white woman suing a Black woman for defamation after triggering a Black woman on police brutality, threatening the police on them, with the power dynamics at play, versus Cenderra discussing how she believes Raylee stole from her if that occurred. Even if we can say, well, Cenderra lied about this, or this, the fact that the dress was only partially paid for and never returned is still a fact that you corroborate, right? So those are the conflicting things for me, right? So now I'm like, back to that song where it's like, fuck it, guess we both think shit. I feel that way about both of them, you know what I mean? In a way. But I don't think that someone fucking your wedding dress over is the same level, or even calling you out for if you stole the wedding dress you thought was fucked up, is the same type of harm that can be caused from weaponizing the police against them. And there are things that are coming out about Caze and Casze Z to where her own that karma is taking care of itself, in my opinion. Like, this white woman is going to easily be able to fix the harm caused to her business, because all of the outlets are about to come out with apologies. Internet's ready to apologize. Everybody's ready to. We're like, oh no, the white woman tears are here, so everybody's ready to appease her, right? So that I do perceive like there's like a big difference, in my opinion, on what the harm is. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, are you upset she dragged your name through the mud? Sure. However, the only reason you have a defamation case would be because of the parts of where you can prove that there was a lie, because she said one thing but another thing actually happened. For example, the difference between the dress being 10 or 6,000, right? But on another level, based on what occurred, I still believe she has an argument on theft. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still not over weaponizing the police. Like, holy fuck. Okay, let's watch the rest of this. Hold on.
To wear the dress. But instead of her talking to me on Monday and not ruining my wedding, she instead went to social media and posted all of this stuff that obviously I have receipts for. I would still like to work this out civilly and offline. I know that a lot of you still might not agree with me, which is totally fine. I just wanted to get my side out here and the truth of it all. But Sin, if you are watching this, like I said last Friday, if you would like to reimburse us the full amount, I don't mind shipping the dress back and paying for the shipping label at this point. But if you don't want to reimburse any of the money, I can still ship you the skirt back.
In my opinion, it does sound like she stole it and she's just gonna do whatever she wants. You know what I'm saying? Because, and I'm just saying, based on the definition of steal and thief that we discussed before, and based on what we discussed with the intent, if it matters whether or not you plan on returning it or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to look up real quick. I think this is the end of this part. Let me see. And then somewhere in the end of this live stream, I think in the conclusion. Okay, I think this is the end of that part. All right, somewhere else in this live stream where I had called my mom about the FedEx shit, my mom sent me a text message. Okay. I'm about to read it right here. So we're going to read that text message real quick and then move on. And this is about the FedEx portion. Said, just went back and watched the live stream where you called me so I could understand what was going on. Even if FedEx wouldn't ship a package because of a prepaid weight issue, which I don't think that happened, it would still show that FedEx had the package. Or it says ... on my, it would still show that FedEx had. Or it said ... in the caption there, that's what she said. I can't speak, but you know what I mean? All right, so that's what my mom texted me. And she was a courier for 8 years. So yeah. Alrighty, so that is, so far now we have heard Cenderra or Caze's initial stories where she initially called out Raylee for theft. Then we heard where Cenderra gave more context on that. And then we heard from Raylee with her evidence showing why she didn't believe it was theft because she hated the dress, basically. And so, yeah, fucking now what we're going to do is just keep watching some of the back and forth since then that has come out. And we're going to end this live stream on the Casze Raylee situation, and we'll cover the other stories on a different live stream. and we'll see there because this one's already getting pretty long. But yeah, you know what I just realized that I have not been doing though? My little ad spot. So this is a visual reminder to go check out tattoos from Ink by Casse in Texas. And that is near Houston, by the way. I realized Texas is big as shit. My bad. Fucking. But next, let's move on to the Case's deleted video portion. And we're going to start off here with this deleted video. And again, we're going to move that up to, of course, 1.75 speed. We got the response video from Casze or Casze via M. Buckler, aka Trouble, thanks to this person. And so next up, we're gonna do is watch the response video that Casze put out and then deleted after Raylee, my bad. Right shit, I can't speak. Raylee. I was calling her Raleigh, then Riley, but it's Raylee. My bad, dude. Okay, fucking after Raylee told her story, Casze apparently had put this out then and then taken it down. Apparently, I didn't see it then. That's just what was I would love to believe. So let's see.
All right, so here we go. Let's cut the sympathy card. I understand it was her wedding. I understand it's an important day, but that does not give you the entitlement to treat anyone the way that you did. So number one, once she got the official tracking number, I didn't hear anything else from them that night. So about 9 o'clock my time, 7 o'clock her time. Okay, so let me start with the breach of contract. Her final fit-in was scheduled August 9th, August 10th, August 11th. If the dress is scheduled to be finished on the 10th and that was such an important thing, you should have cut the contract then and cut the whole deal then. If that was a deal breaker.
So this text message from Raylee VC, okay, thank you. Cenderra says, what side of the room are you? Raylee says, the right side if you're walking in from outside. Cenderra says, thank you, getting off elevator. Raylee says, hey Cenderra, I'm really happy with how today went. Thank you. If you need me back tonight, I can definitely come, or early in the morning. Just let me know the times you want me back. Cenderra says, you are very welcome. That was the goal. Right now we are still making adjustments to the short dress. We haven't made it to the train. Let's just schedule for early tomorrow, that way you can get some rest. We will be working all night. By maybe 11 to 12 midnight, I can give a time update for the morning. I can't speak. We want to have everything fully adjusted, then have you come early. Be sure the train is good and hot, then we can have you leave again. Do the overlay, then have you come back later.
Ms. Raylee, you should say, oh no, son, I don't want to do it anymore because if you can't be finished on the 10, I don't want it. Okay, so that was not the case. She still came.
Then Raylee texts, good morning. Do we still want to do 11 for a final fitting or do we need to do it later? Cenderra, good morning. We are still working. The train has a lot more crystal work on it. Most likely it will be noon or 1. Raylee, sounds good. Raylee, Sunday, August 11th at 11:40 a.m. Hey, how's it going? Are we leaning towards 1 p.m.? Cenderra, yes we are. We honestly have so much more work. Okay, Mo, how are you today? Oh man, I'm a bit obsessed with this shit. I'm sorry, I've been on YouTube a little bit too much. I made a whole presentation about this I'm about to get to. But right now we're watching the deleted video that Casze put out after Raylee deleted, not after Raylee told her story. So Casze put this video out and then deleted it because apparently the comments were going well for her. So yeah, the text message that I was reading that Casze had said, or Cenderra from Casze had said was, yes, we are. We honestly have so much more beaver. I'm thinking we fit you again and we can ship the train and dress so we can have more time after you see it and approve it. And then Raylee said, okay, I'm worried about shipping because everything is taking so long. When are you thinking you want to ship it? And then Cenderra said, no, it will be fast. We use FedEx every day. FedEx is the best and most reliant. I ship overnight all the time.
For her final fittings, August 9th, August 10th, and August 11th, she still attended, and she still, even after that, she knew that we weren't going to be finished with the train and we would end up shipping it at a later date, and she agreed to that verbally. And I have text communication from the day that she left all the way until the day that we shipped that she was being updated. We were letting her know every day what was going on. So if that was such an issue, they should have said something then. Or were they already planning to use that as an excuse to not pay?
Sorry, I forgot to read the message. Okay, this is just for documentation purpose in case this video gets taken down for clarity's sake, in case my restreaming of it is pixelated, as well as for those listening in case they're not looking at this. All right, and so then Cenderra had told Raylee, thank you, please go to desk and ask them to let you up to a room number. And then Raylee said, okay, headed up. And then on Sunday, August 11th at 3:17 p.m., Raylee sent the address checklist document and address checklist PDF. And she said might be easier to work/check off in this PDF form. And then on Monday, August 12th at 9:16 p.m., she said, hi, Cen, I sent you an email to the Casze email for the DocuSign for the amendment on the original contract. Do you mind getting that signed today? Thank you. And then Casze or Cenderra had said, yes, I will get this over today. We have been working nonstop. And Raylee said, thank you so much. Are we still on for shipping it on the 15th? Oh, okay. And the DocuSign text message was sent on Monday, August 12th at 5:16 p.m.? I can't fucking read. And then Tuesday, August 13th at 1:59 p.m. is when Cenderra answered. So yeah, I'm sorry, I've forgotten to read these fucking text messages. I can't read that checklist, but there is a screenshot of a checklist, but it's too blurry for me to make out what it says. And then the next text message that I have forgotten to read, and then I'm just gonna let it play from here. So I'm sorry if she repeats what she said here, but then the end of Raylee's message that is shown here, it says the last three sentences, word of a sentence says anything last night. So I don't know what that's about, but and then she said, "Are you sending the dress out today, or what's the actual timeline at this point?" And on Sunday, August 18th at 1:14 p.m., Cenderra had said, "Good morning. I called and went to voicemail, but it could have been where I was in the building. I had the box and ready, but we are still hand stitching the train last night. Today, Johanna says we need to add more tulle at the bottom. Then for waistband, I still need to finish them when it's back up on the mannequin. Are you comfortable receiving by Wednesday? Final day with everything done. The seamstress keep giving a day, but there ends up being more work, and I can see as of today there is still more. I want to finish fully and properly. We know the wedding is Saturday, so this would be final and no further delays. I just really want to make sure it's done perfectly. The overlay just took much more time than we all expected." I don't know. Okay.
Were they already planning to use that as an excuse to not pay me then? Who knows? She did send over another DocuSign to sign. I said, hey, I want to sign it, so I know exactly what I'm done. So anyway, if that was a deal breaker, she would cut the deal. When she knew she was coming to her business, I said that it wasn't going to be done then. So let's just get it out of the way. Number two, back to the correspondence. After I should have
Okay, so then Cenderra had next text message her saying, God, I feel old. Why am I fucking speaking like this? I don't know. Texted her saying, updated tracking, and we waited to verify items scanned in and taken back to be loaded on truck. FedEx tracking, insert the number. Said, please advise there is a signature required for all couture garments. The old label was voided. The one we pre-printed we did yesterday. The weight was completely wrong, so they voided it out, and we had to repurchase a new one. The dress was 42 pounds total. From my understanding, modifications could have been made to that, but perhaps it was just the way the person did it if it was done so this way. But you know, and then, can you please advise us tonight on final payment? We agree. Nope, it said we again didn't want to bother, but we do need to close this portion out tonight. The dress has been scanned and properly, and we waited to be sure of this. And then it says read on August 21st, 2024. And so this was sent at 11:01. First message 11:01 p.m. Second 11:04. Third 11:06. And then another one 11:45 p.m. Please advise if you have the tracking and final email 11:46 p.m. Also, if you see the scanned in package and update information 12:27 a.m. Hello, can you advise about everything that you received? Also, and then it continues, but.
the track number that whole night under me. So that's why I changed late because I sent wasn't that late. I said, another one.
And in this message does not seem to be the next in that. It seems to be part of a different conversation. But the end of what Cenderra was saying at one sentence says, to train was added at the first fitting. So they added something to the train apparently. And then it said, this is in the contract and notes from second fitting that he wanted longer. Those things plus the earrings were the additions. Also, the package has been intercepted. I have been very understanding. It's been routed back to us. We cannot do this and not receive our payments regardless. The work we dedicated is more than we charged for this garment. The overlay required so much more work, and that is fine, but we cannot go without payment. I can give you half of the amount due, and then Raylee responded, I can give you half of the amount due now, and then the other half when it gets here. And these text messages are at 11:39 a.m. and 11:43 a.m., but I don't know what. And then this next message seems to be part of a different conversation here. And the end of what Cenderra was saying in one part at 10:26 a.m. said, was set to arrive yesterday, so even then I went and shipped it out balance. And that message was edited. And I don't like that you can edit text messages because that makes me feel gaslit. All right, and then at 10:26 a.m., she said, but we cannot have you hold payment with the garment in your possession. And then at 10:40 a.m., it said, we never ship without the balance. I did not want to delay the process anymore. Therefore, we went completely against our policy because I understood the wedding is here. It was already delayed, and I understand that, but the payment is not remitted. They will intercept the dress back to us. My business partner will not allow this and take a loss on possibly not receiving the payment. Because my business partner will not allow this and take a loss on possibly not receiving the payment. This line right here at 10:40 a.m., this goes back to my live stream about who is Dr. Zonzi. Check out that live stream if you want to know more about my thoughts on the business managers, about my questions there. All right. And then it says, if they intercept us, the dress, I can't speak, damn. It said, if they intercept the dress, it will route back to us today. I told you about the balance and information before, yesterday, so it's been ample amount of time for review and to let us know how you are making payment. She's intercepting that's at 10:42 a.m. and 11:19 a.m. She's intercepting the package. I don't know what else to do at this point. I asked several times now for my balance. This is out of my hands. And I wonder, and this comes back to the presentation, but we'll see. And then Raylee responded, Sin, you are 12 days late. And then it cuts off, but I think that she is saying if you would have had it finished by the due date. All right.
You want to was old to she was so I was telling her what about this and her reminder. So we get to that day on the night until they want to get it. It's okay, get to it, we can get to it. So we get to the next one, she did respond back. She did say, hey, I want to pay you down, just like you dress.
So now we are at the WhatsApp messages. So this is Tuesday, August 20th. This comes where on Tuesday, August 20th on WhatsApp, she was sending messages of the dress here. And Raylee said, it looks so good. Is there enough beading at the base of the train? At 9:56 p.m. And she said, like of the crystal beading, 9:56 p.m. Does the crystal belt teardrop down? Can you send me a video close up of both of these sections, please? 9:57 p.m. Also, please send me the front and back of the corset dress since we weren't finished on that one either. 10:02 p.m. And it looks like, I can't tell if that other video was sent at 9:55 p.m. or 5:55 p.m. But I think it may have been 9:55 p.m. that she got it, and so Raylee was responding right away, I think. And then it looks at 10:42 p.m. there was a response with another dress video from Casze or Cenderra on WhatsApp.
I said, well, I took a picture of the video, so I couldn't see it, but you told me to send them with that. She said, we're nice, I said, with that. I said, okay, well, that's fine, but you still need to take balance on your service. You tried on your dress, which she did, same dress on the fit model, but she now, in fact, the exact same dress. That does not make for a fit model. That was Raylee's dress. On the fit model, ensure everything was perfect before we shipped it out. That dress that you saw, that was glamorous, that was beautiful, that was perfection. On the fit model was Raylee's dress. No one could replicate that dress in 2 weeks or PAs.
And then next, it shows a more WhatsApp messages, but it's from Raylee sending a picture of the dress. But it's somebody else, though, so I don't know if it's Raylee's mom or something, but it says, this is on Raylee, the last picture. When the back is lined up, this is where the front was to be. Has to be. The large jewels don't line up, and the slit is not right. And then Cenderra of Casze responded, so the stone place is off. This is correct. The stone just needs to, and then I think she is saying be moved, which is a very easy thing to do or something like that. I don't know. Let's see.
All that needs to go outdoor. You all see the screenshots. Raylee in that dress, the short dress and the train that's on her with the crystal. That is the exact same thing. And you will see that she was into that 3 times, 3 full days of fitting, arrangements, adjustments, of putting it on, taking notes. This is a very detailed process over the days. It was not something that was wrong together in the day. That was definitely not that. It came her first day a month ago. Her first day said, this is a process. This was made specifically for Raylee. We started this dress in April. We started in April. So the train that you saw, the train was cut in April. This has been all right. So here we go. Cut the card. I understand it was her wedding.
So yeah, and this video was sped up. I think it was uploaded sped up. If not by Casze or Cenderra, then by Backfires, aka Trouble. I did not speed that up, but I think if on YouTube you try to slow the speed, slowing it down, that might work out for you if it was too fast. Yeah, I totally forgot that this was sped up. I wish I had slowed this down. And then by the time I realized, though, we were already like halfway through because I had forgotten. And so I was just like, I'm just, let it go, fuck it. But yeah, my bad. So the original video is a bit slower on the original Perceiving in the Evening Found Casze Raylee video, Lies Counter from Casze and Raylee. It's a bit slower there, but so it might be easier to watch there. But on either place, I think you might be able to slow down the speed, and maybe that will help. It might be better over there because it was played slower there the first time. My bad. All right. For those portions, but yes. Okay, I think this is done here, so we're gonna move on to the next part of this series here. Okay, you know what? I was gonna skip this, but honestly, then I decided that I was gonna come back from it. Wait, is this the part 1 though? Yeah, this is the part 1. Okay, so for part 2, did I pull that up? You know what? No, I didn't. I might end up coming back to the presentation on shit does not add up. Is this the right one? Hold on. Well, nope. Yeah, that's the first one. Okay, so we're gonna skip this presentation for now, but I'm gonna come back to that presentation. My bad. Okay, so let's start off back. Here we go. Casze had made a new post. Hold up. My bad. God damn it. I'm sorry. Hold on. Nothing was being said here. Let me just replay. I forgot to share the screen. But my bad. So let me speed this up. Nothing is, this is just a 40-second video that I'd forgotten to share, and it's just showing the beadwork. Whoops. All right. My bad. Life is hard today, y'all. But you know what? If there's no audio glitch, I get a gold star today, damn it. So yeah, that was a video I forgot to play, but there's no audio in the background. It's just showing the thing. And so I played it at 2 times speed. And it's linked in the description of this video. So the comments, one person says, get the dress back and resell.
Everyone, I wanted to hop on and just say thank you to everyone who has been supporting me,
So of course she's thanking the supporters, gotta love them.
hearing me, listening to me, and everybody that is making either short snippets of my videos.
Also love that she's filming this in the hair salon, gotta have the self-promo. And also I understand if you're just fucking at work, shit, you got nothing to do, fuck it. That I get.
Or just talking about this whole situation. I really appreciate you guys getting the word out and just supporting me. Thank you
So this primarily serves as a thank you video.
so much. I also wanted to let you guys know that I will be getting on tonight to do a couple videos to answer some of the questions that I've seen.
Ooh, so we will definitely be checking up on her profile before the live stream ends, for sure.
If you have any other questions, you can definitely comment them on this video, and I will get to them as quick as I can. Again, thank you everyone so much. I really appreciate it.
Alrighty, yeah, and so the comments, she got almost 1,000. It's like 879. I'm sure she'll probably get to 1,000 or more. But all the people seem to be in her favor over here, like me support you, be right. So next up, we're going to check out what I don't think is a coincidence, because just a few hours later, we see another post from Casze on the same dress. And this time, I'm remembering to show it to you. Here we go. Now, let's just see if there's any audio here for us. or if she's speaking. If it's just music, we're gonna mute it for copyright. I can't hear a damn thing. Is she saying something? Let me turn this up.
Wow, it's like a princess. Let me get a picture of up here, and then I'll send these to you.
Okay, she was saying, I guess it was quiet at first, because then I heard, wow, like a princess, and something about let me get up here or something like that. I don't know, I couldn't really hear. But now she's showing the same text message that I had read to you earlier. This is the one she's showing, is the one with the dress checklist document and PDF. She's showing the messages again. But the importance of this message, in my opinion, is it does show on Monday, August 12th at 5:16 p.m. there was an amendment on the original contract. And so between that and the price adjustments, we're not told, what that amendment is. And even though, I think Casze was probably overcharging on the GoFundMe page, you know what I'm saying, with that 12,000 number, because what the fuck. But then Raylee, she mentioned the 62.2K from the original contract, yes, but she also didn't mention the price up charges or the amendment on the contract. And even if she doesn't agree with the price up charges and she wants to fight those, I think that's still relevant to say she's trying to charge me this. You know what I'm saying? And so, so I do see that from there we did get two different pricing numbers, in my opinion, potentially. But I mean, technically, Rayleigh didn't really lie about it because she did get the contract for 6.2K. That was the truth that happened. She just left out the other stuff that I think was relevant to where Cenderra number closer to 10K could have been from. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, whether or not you agree with the pricing, in my head, that's where those numbers could come from. You know what I'm saying? Okay, ooh. So this time it looks like I can read this checklist. So in the checklist, oh shit. So it looks like I might need to adjust it looks like I might need to adjust my presentation after all. I might have to take down the video that I'm scheduled for tomorrow and redo it, because it looks like, so the checklist says, well, first I'll tell you what's circled. What's circled is on the detachable skirt, heavy rhinestone, quote unquote, belt, and it says straight. So the mini dress checklist, on the mini dress, it says boob cups fill in pearls. Okay, that actually does make sense to what she got. Boob cups, medium rhinestone line across the point, boob corset trimmed, rounded top off, glued down half moon rhinestones, boning is bowing out on the side of breast cups, fill in beads on the side of the boob cups, put fabric around entire top of mini dress to prevent rubbing on underarms and boob cups, sew in push up boob cups, glue down large center stones and make sure they are straight, some small jewels missing replace, back of mini dress more rhinestones, back of mini dress cover pearl flowers, back of mini dress more dense with silver rhinestones, back of corset at the top of buttocks or base of sting is bowing, needs to lay flatter 2 hooks, tassels need more raindrop crystals all the way around, rhinestone fringe, take clear beads off of tassels, medium color nude boy shorts for a detachable skirt. Is that what it says? I don't know. And then it says detachable skirt. Heavy rhinestone belt straight. Rhinestones trickle down about 5 inches. Is that what it says? There's a circle. I think it's either 5 or 6. I think it might be 6 inches. 1 foot down the top of the skirt to blend in with mini dress. Add belt hook for the closure. Add 1 hook down leg slit 4.5 inches down from waistband. Add second hook at 7 inch down from waistband. 2 pleats on right side of leg slit. Add inch or so to bottom of detachable skirt. Add tulle at start of train so it doesn't dip in. Move right side pleat more on the right side of hip to match the left side pleat. So that could have been how the train got off center. I mean, it still should have been caught and fixed as an issue, but maybe that's right. So the belt was in the checklist. There's 2 things I'm going to update on my presentation. Shit. All right. Let's keep going. Sorry about that. Okay, this shows a whole new message here. Okay, so it shows the other part. It shows most of the message that we saw before, where Rayleigh had texted Cenderra, "Hey Cenderra, I'm really happy with how today went. Thank you." That message on what was it, August 9th? So yeah, so that message I think is could get used against her. But it shows a little bit more. Before, Cenderra had said, "Okay, you can take a seat. We'll come to get you." Rayleigh said, "Okay, thank you." Cenderra's outside the room. Are you? Rayleigh said, "The right side if you're walking from outside." Cenderra said, "Thank you, getting off the elevator." That's interesting. So yeah. And the video is playing right now. It's just quiet. And it's just showing screenshots of like the dress and everything. It's showing the WhatsApp message. And now it's showing I don't remember if I read this message or not. I feel like I did before, but just in case I didn't, from Raylee, it says at 10:04 p.m. on August 20th, it says, I don't think the belt part of the skirt is right. I need a photo of the front of the skirt too. And Cenderra said, we are sending them all. One moment. Raylee said, thank you for sending that video. Did you overnight it? Let me know the tracking number. Thank you. At 10:48 p.m. And so this could be perceived as her still asking for the address by the judge, I think, potentially. So then Cenderra said, I'll revise the DocuSign now, everything including final balance, ship date, and sign. I didn't want to sign and agree until we had a solid date. Also, the balance will be here for review with custom earrings added. We covered shipping costs, and this was around 11:08 p.m. And then the next day, August 21st at 10:18 a.m., Raylee said, hi, Sen, can you send me the tracking number? And then Cenderra responded to Raylee with a FedEx PDF document. And then this is a whole new message, I think. On Friday, August 16th, Raylee said, hi, Sen, how's it going? Cenderra said, we are still at the back bottom. It's 40 more minutes, and we would have to leave in 20. I think I was saying we are pushing it. It's still on the floor because we are hand sewing. Also, I'm not ignoring you. It's just all hands on this dress to get it finished. I'm helping and 3 others. And Raylee said, okay, thank you. Cenderra said, please send your full shipping address. I'll confirm with you shortly if we can get photos of mannequin and package to get there. She responded with that, apparently. And Cenderra responded, they were still working on train, so I came to FedEx to get a box big enough for the train because it's very big and they had one, and we will try it. So let's see what else it says. Did I read the part where she said I'll confirm with you shortly if we can get photos of mannequins and packages to get there? But she also said they were still working on train, so I came to FedEx to get a box big enough for the train because it's very big and they had one. We would try it. But for these, we usually have to purchase one from the store, and she stated we would need to wait and bring by 10:05 p.m. But tomorrow by 8:05 p.m. Tomorrow we can set everything up and ship. FedEx does delivery on Sunday, the associate stated. And she said, okay, if the dress isn't done, I understand. Okay, if the dress isn't done, I understand. Send photos before shipping. That might get used against her in court, where she's saying, I understand, I'm happy with how it went, it looks good. Her saying those 3 things might not go for her, well for her. This dress isn't, because legally that counts as part of the contract, it's in writing. Done. I understand. Any amendment in writing can be considered part of the contract, potentially. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but that's what I think. Oh yeah, sorry, I'm reading. Okay, my bounce space. And then fucking Raylee said, hey Cenderra, hey Sen, getting close to shipping deadline tonight. How's it going? This was Saturday, August 17th at 6:24 p.m. And then from Raylee's mom, it looks like this is from Cenderra to Raylee's mom. I don't know the date, but it's at 11:44 a.m. The end of one sentence says, aligned on Raylee here, the mannequin and fit model, but you all are saying otherwise with no photos or videos to show us the issue, nor did you call via FaceTime. Please show me because all of this is uncalled for. Put the dress on and call us via FaceTime. We are the ones who made it, so if this is all true, we expect a call when it's fully on, videos and photos to show everything you're saying. If you wanted it to work, you all would have told us you got the dress and called us immediately to address the issues and see what could be fixed. You all were unresponsive yesterday and replied yesterday night after you had the dress all day. FedEx has the footage of the person to verify their ID on when they picked it up. So again, whatever games are being played needs to be stopped. No adjustments were made to the train. We added the closures, but this is between 11:44 a.m. and 11:50 a.m. And then the end of what Raylee's mom was saying was she requested at last fitting. And then Cenderra was saying the tool was 100% taken out before she even left and she saw it. This was at 12:03 p.m., between 12:03 and 12:04. And then it says the tool was taken out before the Sunday, her last day being there, and she approved that. All the lies need to stop. I'll be there by the end of the day to see everything on her. Send the address for my arrival. I also expect to be paid info as well as my staff before we leave. I'll see you soon. Please forward the address over or I'll, and then I don't know the rest of what was sent. And so someone was saying, I'm confused. She said, right, heart. And someone said, but why are you both continuing to do this online for views? Or I'm confused, not bashing, but y'all should figure this out in person as grown-ass women. Have y'all talked or are y'all avoiding? And Casze said, I haven't received any correspondence. Okay, I'm going to skip through the comments here. Wait, let's see. Where was I? Yeah, let's go watch one more thing. Okay, here we go. I know I'm gonna forget and cancel out. So next we are going to, oh damn, this was posted what, 30 minutes ago when and this is already out. So yeah, it looks like people are way more in Raylee's favor over here. So let's check this out.
Hi everyone, I wanted to get on and go over some of the questions that you guys have been asking me. I have been speaking to counsel though, and there are some details that I will not be able to discuss until that is all over.
Hopefully she I know she just said that she got counsel and that she's not going to be discussing things based on that counsel, but I am hoping that she did get her counsel's approval before making these statements, because on both of their sides, anything and everything that they're putting out can be, and probably will be, used against them in court. I wonder if their attorneys are checking my shit out. If so, what's up, bitches? I'm not sorry I'm flipping both of you off. That's my bad. You're both probably cool. Just because I don't like your clients doesn't mean you might not be cool. I'm actually really interested to see the lawyering that happens with this. May the best attorney win. If y'all watch my shit. Then why would they be watching this though? But you know what? They should, because I've really documented every fucking thing, so I'm just saying. But
first things first, people are still asking me if I wore the dress.
Is she really still getting that question though? Because so many pictures have come out.
The answer is no. This is the dress that I bought 2 days before my wedding. And here's the timestamp at the end of our ceremony. Casze has accused me of botching the dress when I got it.
Did I not process that accusation when it came across, when it happened? Or did Cenderra not show it? My bad. I didn't realize that happened if that did. But yeah, that's kind of funny.
Here's the timestamp, and remind you, in my last video I showed when I received the dress, which was 10:57 a.m. I am not a seamstress. I am not a seamstress. What? The next thing you guys are asking me about is this top piece of the skirt. That was only supposed to be about an inch, as you can see here. I'll show another picture, but the reason why she talked me into doing that at all is because she ordered the wrong overlay. It was supposed to match the top completely. Like,
so it looks like the designer got approval on changes to the dress, some changes to the dress, that she was unhappy with. I think it could go on both sides. Like, on one hand, if you are pressuring a client into something and they don't want it, that's bad, right? But on another, we have seen where, in my opinion, she didn't, even if she was verbalizing like things about that she wanted about the dress, she never, in my opinion, that I've seen in message until after it was sent, articulated that she didn't like what was happening, that I saw in writing. And if it did happen, maybe I missed it. But yeah.
same type of jewels. Here is another picture. It was only supposed to be an inch thick. Not 2 inches on one side and 3 on the other side. And then do you see? It was supposed to trickle down like these, like teardrops. Not be one solid belt.
Oh, wait, I was about to bring up the belt, but then I realized I paused her right when she was talking about the belt again. So it's just, so I was about to bring up, like, why is she telling us she didn't want the belt if it's in the thing, in the checklist? But now I'm wondering, like, is she about to speak on that next?
Belt was only supposed to be this little piece that was only like...
Okay, but before you told us that you didn't want the belt at all, or am I wrong on that? Look, it's supposed to be little. But before said no belt, right? She said no belt before, right? Am I wrong on that? I have to look into this.
an inch so that it would tie in this top of the dress to this. Here is one of the original inspo pictures. You can see here that it is the same type of dress.
This is entirely different than what was received. You know what I mean? But did she communicate that this is, what she wanted specifically for it to look like this? Or was there a communication somewhere where she was led to believe that those bigger jewels and rhinestones were what was wanted? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that could also go back to the communication issue. Like, so I could see where she's saying this is what I wanted, didn't get it for sure. If that can be confirmed, totally, fucked over, right? But then it's like, where I'm saying that I could see miscommunication, for example, like in the checklist where it talks about all the pearl overlay and the way that the jewels are done and things, how it could have been interpreted to be what it came out as. So, and then with the sketches, between the checklist and the sketches, if those sketches were approved, I could see that too. You know what I'm saying?
Jeweling as the top, and then also it is more jewels at the top, and then it gets lighter and lighter as it goes down to almost no jewels. Here was another inspiration photo of the skirt, very minimal.
This dress right here could have been where the dress design that came from, because it kind of looks like a combination of those two dresses together in some ways. You know what I'm saying?
As you can see in the sketch, there is no belt. There was not supposed to be a belt. It was supposed to be all the same.
I mean, and this could potentially have been put on via a belt right here. So I feel like right there, it looked like that could have been a smaller belt where the corset ends, but maybe I'm wrong on that. But I mean, that could have been a way to do it. I don't know.
From top to bottom, the same type of crystals, the same type of jewels. Here is another photo that I sent her showing that it is more jewels at the top, and then as it comes to the bottom, it gets less and less. But again, there was no belt in this whole situation until she ended up ordering the wrong type of overlay so that it didn't even match the top.
Is that how the dress got into the checklist? She said no dress until wrong overlay. Right? Take notes.
Top to bottom of the dress, from the mini dress to the skirt. Another question people are asking.
Okay, more text messages. So from here, on May 29th, at 11:50 a.m., we have a text message that says, "Greetings, this is Operations Manager for Casze. Just wanted to touch base that our phone lines are down." And Raylee responded, "Hello, I have a fitting this week between tomorrow and Sunday in Miami, but I was just checking in to see what day and time works best for you guys." In my opinion, wouldn't you have already scheduled that if you already had the flight? That sounds like bad customer experience. And then she's covered, so let me see if she moves.
Me is...
She hasn't moved yet. So on Thursday, May 30th at 4:06 a.m., she said, "Hi, we just got into Miami. Can you let me know when you'd like to do the fitting? We are here till Sunday. Thank you."
Why were you not communicating? This was right before the trip. She's saying that they are having phone issues. I try to be nice. We come down the list. The dress. From the...
Sorry, I was gonna try and, but all right. So it says, "Hello, something about what time can you come Sunday," or something about Monday and the tailors, but she doesn't show this full message here. And then Rayleigh's response seems to be, "I can do anytime Sunday," which is funny because after she says, "I can do anytime Sunday," Casze says, "What time are you available Saturday?"
Communicating. This was right before the trip. She's saying that they are having phone issues. I try to be nice. We come down the list.
So the next text messages we have here, Raylee had said, I could 10 a.m. Would that work for you? Thursday, May 30th at 1:05 p.m. Someone from Casze said, my apologies for the continuous text. We're trying to coordinate scheduled for our tailors. What's the latest time on Saturday that you'll be available? And she said, the latest time we can do it, 11. We have plans the rest of the day. We can do Sunday. We don't have any plans that day. Saturday, June
An emergency
1st at 8:03 a.m. She said, hello, I was just informed the owner had an emergency situation occur. At this time, there are something about other seamstresses available to conduct the fitting over the course of this weekend.
situation because they didn't have a seamstress. But she wouldn't do the
Oh, she said at this time there are no other seamstresses available. Oh, shit.
dress fitting without a seamstress for whatever reason. Wouldn't even let me see my dress, even though I was already in Miami from Colorado. Still doesn't even send me a picture after this. And then this is
I wonder if that was Dr. Zanzi sending those messages or if that was Cenderra. But so now Casze customer service from Raylee says, I'll not be able to get back before August, and wedding is August 24th. Hoping she can come to Grand Junction, Colorado. And then on Saturday, June 1st at 5:14 p.m., the response said the owner recommends 3 fittings, especially to fit the ball gown skirt portion of the gown. Are you able to come back to Miami end of June? And then Raylee responded, no, I let you guys know the dates during our last fitting. I'll be here till Sunday evening, so I can do any time tomorrow, but I don't think I'll be able to come back 2 more times. If June can be our last fitting, that would work, but I won't be able to do 2 more. So, yeah, I get that, we can have it working with beings just because we're a business owner, but in my opinion, I would have fucking paid somebody to show up for me.
them asking me to come back at the end of June when I was already in Miami from Colorado. And this was June 1st.
And now we've got text messages with her mom. So, Friday, June 14th, 11 a.m. It said, good morning, looking forward to scheduling a Zoom. Please let me know at your earliest convenience. Can you please send pictures of the dress? Raylee reconvened August 24, 2024, wedding dress. I think this might be a group chat. And then it looks like her mom. She said, hello, we haven't heard from Sin today as she couldn't make our Zoom call. Can someone please send, I think it's saying a pic of Raylee's Rukavina's dress so we can confirm it's in or something about continued production. And she said we are 2 months, I'm assuming it's saying we are 2 months away and a little nervous since the last 2 meetings Sin wasn't there. Thank you, Raylee Rukavina / bride, I'm assuming. I can't tell if this is from Raylee Rukavina or not, or if it's from her mom. I don't know. Or if it's to her mom.
And then this is an entire thread with me, my mom, a Caze customer service rep, and another phone number I don't even know. At this point, I let my mom try and deal with it because I was so upset that the second fitting was canceled and that I didn't even get to see my dress, let alone get any photos of it. So
I do think part of the miscommunication, though, where I think they're trying to be too nice, or in my opinion, by not stating their concerns and their needs in some ways. Like, yeah, they do ask questions or state some of the issues they have, but they don't state that the fact that there are these issues, it means something is wrong to them or that it's a problem, right? Like, because in any production, there's always issues. So you never know if it's alarming to someone or not unless they tell you. So at every point, because they're giving approval, that could be fucking them over, in my opinion, potentially legally.
the 16th, and then another message from the 21st, the 24th.
So on Friday, June 21st at 11:31 a.m., her mom has said, hello, please let us know what our options are and please send pictures of dress. Thanks. And then on Monday, June 24th at 12:21 p.m., the mom has said, hello, checking in on Raylee's dress again and seeing if we can get some pictures of where it's at and if we can get a time schedule to talk with Sen and figure out when we will meet again. We can also go to the Georgia office if you guys can get the dress there. Please and thank you. Raylee Rukavina / bride. And then it shows the beginning of a message. Responding back, I can't read it.
4th, and then I messaged the 27th. Again, no responses.
And then Raylee had said Thursday, June 27th at 6:59 p.m. Hello, this is Raylee. It has now been a month since we were down in Florida. What is the timeline we will be able to get photos of the dress and possibly get the final fitting schedule?
Let me be clear, I asked her for more photos and videos of the dress before she sent it so that I could proof it, which again, I never did. But she never sent me those photos of the model in my dress until the dress already got to me and I was like, what is this? To clear up another question.
Oh, no, somebody brought up, like, it's wild that they even let someone else model a couture wedding dress, and I think that's a valid point, because one time, I had custom ordered lingerie, and the whole point of me custom ordering custom lingerie was the fact that no one else would be able to see this piece on anybody else, you know what I mean? That's why I wanted it, and that's why, but then, like, she did, like, a whole photo shoot with other people with the piece, and I was just like, you know what, I don't even want it anymore. And so I didn't fucking buy it. And she was like, you're not gonna buy this? And I said, no, I told you I wanted it for my own photo shoot. I told you that when I placed the order, and you did your own photo shoot with it, and that negates my purpose of buying it. Fucking and so, you know what I'm saying? So I do think it's wild to do a photo shoot. That's like the whole purpose of getting a couture dress is that no one else will be having a dress like that. No, you know what I mean? No one else would be in that dress, in my opinion. That's part of the reason, right? Of customizing your own dress this way. So to send a photo of another model wearing your dress, I think is kind of an insult. For me, it would have been. I will say that. Oh yeah, fucking. So the text message, I'm assuming this is from, okay, here we go. Concern regarding completion of the dress here on August 18th. This is the first message I've seen from Raylee where I'm just like, okay, here are some words that will actually help you possibly in court, in my opinion, based on the approval part, right? Because every other thing I've seen, I'm like, even if she's telling us she didn't like that, legally, on paper, she approved that shit at the time. You know what I'm saying? But this is where we get into, okay, maybe this can work. Maybe her lawyers can argue with this message here. So I don't have all of the message, but where we have her, it picks up, it says, very concerned regarding completion of the dress, which was originally scheduled for August 10th. It is now over a week past the due date, and you missed the second fitting appointment. Given the urgency of the situation, I cannot wait until Wednesday or further delays. It is crucial that this dress is shipped out by tonight, which my wedding date approaching, and considering the substantial investment I have made to ensure this is completed on time, it is imperative that everything is finalized immediately. Oh, my bad. I forgot that she was talking. I'll go back a minute. Fucking, hold on, let me go back a second. All right. I was expecting to take the dress home on the 10th, and the delay is causing significant inconvenience. I cannot wait to see if the shipping is delayed or doesn't make it in time. What would you do about the shipping not making it? Honestly, if you want to wait till Wednesday to ship it, I need you to fly it out here in person. Otherwise, I need it finished out by tonight and shipped out. So, yeah, so she's fine making demand for her to come out when she wants it, but just not. So, you know what I mean? I don't know. So, yeah, I don't know. Let's see.
Clear up another question. This was August 18th. I sent this out, pause to read, to Sin. And then I sent that out,
And then on Sunday, August 18th at 3:30 p.m., she also said, I'd feel so much better if you were able to fly here Wednesday instead of shipping to ensure it gets in safely. So she was asking her to come at one point.
I asked her to fly it out here. If she really wants to send it on Wednesday, I need her to fly it out here. And she declined that. And then again on the 22nd,
Okay. So Thursday, August 22nd at 7:45 p.m. She had said, if you would like to fly out here tomorrow with your seamstress to fix your skirt, that can work. When the skirt is lined up with the front of the mini dress and large rhinestones like the video you sent on the front, the back pleat is totally off to the right of the skirt and needs to be moved to center. When the back center pleat is in the middle and the back, the front of the skirt and leg slit is totally showing both legs and almost to the center of my crotch. The leg slit is still showing the underneath fabric at times, so you didn't pin it back enough. The top of the skirt was supposed to be trickling down like teardrops or ombre, not a solid belt like it is. The overlay isn't even pinned all the way down to the skirt. It is flapping on the back and not sewn down but 4 points. You said that the overlay would be flush with the skirt following each pleat and being sewn to the dress. There is so much more that you missed. There are even safety pins left in the dress.
I asked her if she could come fix it, which she declined. And then this is the 23rd.
Raylee also texted her on the 23rd at 11:44 a.m. Do you realize the hardship you caused me with sending me a dress that is not what we agreed upon? I felt that my wedding day is ruined. So, okay, so this is another one that should go in her favor legally, because those other messages Sin were saying will go in Sin's favor. These messages will go in Rayleigh's favor with showing that she didn't approve of things, right? Okay, I'm sorry. And it says, I felt that my wedding day is ruined. There is no way I can even wear this skirt because it's so bad. You know what? I will say, though, she did wait until after, though. That's bad. But then it said, if you show up to my wedding or my house and trespass, law enforcement will be called. I still think that tracks with her Republican values in terms of not understanding the concept of police brutality and weaponizing law enforcement against a black woman is fucked up. Especially when you were telling her to come over there, like demanding it previously. You know what I'm saying? That I will never be behind. And I can totally see, I don't care if you're like, you agree with Rayleigh's side on this, that I support. If you want to support, like if you don't agree with me about the concept of theft and stealing with partial ownership, and I don't like Casze, I'm not defending Casze because I don't like her because of the employee situation. Check out my live stream about how her employee speaks out, and check out my live stream about the lawsuits too. But yeah, I don't like her because of how she treats her employees, and for other, and I don't like her how she treats her clients, and I think there's definitely business procedural issues there, right? But the whole I can't get behind anybody that defends the idea of calling the police in this situation. Because in my opinion, no. You know what I'm saying? Not for this. Like at that price point, don't you have security or something like that at your wedding? You know what I mean? Like if she really showed up, you'd be able to make her leave. Or call the police when she gets there. Just tell her she's not welcome. Don't go to threatening the police. You know what I'm saying? Just tell her she's not welcome, and then exercise your right to the police if she threatens your boundaries. And that I get, right? Like if someone literally won't leave your house, what else other option do you have to do than call the police sometimes, right? For example, even if I'm against calling the police. But to threaten, just to be like, if you come near me or come around here, if you even show up, I'm going to call the police on you, that itself is going back into the cultural assimilation of this fucked up white supremacist society that weaponizes police, particularly against black people. You know what I'm saying? We just got to not do that. That I can't get behind. And I'm going to go into another tangent on my concept behind the partial theft thing in a bit. But yeah, we'll come back to it.
Literally
Oh shit, I just realized. Did I still finish reading? So she also said, if you'd like to send me a prepaid label for me to ship the skirt back, I can. If you'd like the whole dress back. Oh, I didn't realize this part. She was saying I need you to reimburse the entire amount of the dress and again a prepaid label for all of it to be shipped. So I didn't realize this part. She only offered to ship part of the skirt back, not the whole dress. All right, gotta update my presentation. And I've already made my case. I'll have to go through it again about why I don't think that we should normalize the concept of expecting a refund without a return. You know what I'm saying? But that's just my own opinion. Oh yeah, and then she was saying, did I read this part? If you'd like the whole dress back, I need to reimburse the entire amount of the dress and again a prepaid label for all that you ship. And she said those are your options. You've already paid over half of it, so you just want the skirt back and no money reimbursed. You can pay for the shipping. I'm going to block you from now until after my wedding. This has caused me so much hardship. I am so disappointed. My heart hurts how terrible the skirt is. So my question is, so this was sent at Friday, August 23rd at 11:44 a.m. Friday. The police were threatened then if she shows up. So in my opinion, it's like she knew she could have been coming. Or maybe it's because she had invited her already. But that's what makes me think maybe she knew already. Did she know that Cenderra had booked the flight if Cenderra booked the flight? You know what I'm saying? And where she's saying, I'm not sending your shit back, you know what I mean? After she's already demanded her to come up. That kind of get where the entitlement to be like, well, I guess I'm going there could come from, you know what I'm saying? In terms of in the heat decisions, when you're not thinking about things. But anyway.
the day before my wedding, and I am asking her if she wants the dress back. I did want to touch on the fact that I've seen a comment from the designer saying that she begged for the dress back.
Okay, that was within hours of this post, unless unless she saw a different post. So that's been checking up, huh? And then I feel like she blocked. I thought they were blocked. So do you have burner accounts, or you just got people checking for you, or are you just looking online without signing in, or it's interesting to me. Interesting.
As you can see in those screenshots, I offered to send it back, and even at the end of part.
Well, she didn't offer to send it back. She only offered to send the whole dress back if she got the full refund. But in my opinion, that could still technically count as stealing, in my opinion, based on sources I got linked in the description. And then I got more sources in the description. I linked the video that I had to redo that got fucked up last night because of an audio glitch, and in that description. Okay, something I've been processing also right now, a little delayed processing, just a bit here. If that message was sent on August 23rd, threatening to call the police, I believe on a Friday, I believe it was the Wednesday prior to that Friday, it was the Wednesday or Thursday prior to that Friday, where, if I'm not mistaken, that Raylee had invited Cenderra of Casze there. So to make somebody spend money on a plane ticket, if that happened, and then threaten the police on them after in this manner, I think, I do stand by the expressing the anger about that. Like, I feel like that stands there because I do feel that's a fucked up element of this still. I still stand on that situation. Um, and yeah, but if that happened as the way I'm processing it, I don't know for sure there. There's even more sources.
Part 2 of my last videos, I offered to send.
So right here it says she also has not reached out to me like I asked her to through text, overlaid on the text, on the video. I wonder, but is she still blocked or did she unblock her? But then also Casze Cenderra is putting out content 3 statements. At one level she said I begged, and then on another level she said I'm done now or something like that. I was like, what? I was like, what the fuck? You mean you're over it now? When I saw that, I was like, what the fuck? Okay.
Send it back. The last question that people were asking was, why were you not given any updates? And frankly, I don't know the answer to that. As you can see in those screenshots, we asked for updates several times, and it was never sent over until August 4th. So
from a business owner perspective, the only time I don't update my clients is if I don't have one for them, or if I'm working on them and I'm so overloaded with working on them that I didn't answer because I was busy doing the work, or if I just didn't check my email. But you know what I'm saying? But I always answer my calls typically, right? You know what I mean?
I don't know. I could.
So my opinion was work wasn't done on it potentially, but that's also evidence based on the timeline where she was saying she showed up in August and so much wasn't done.
Speculate, but I won't. But given that the skirt wasn't even touched on the 9th when I got there and the completion date was the 10th.
But she also doesn't show, did the amended contract change the completion date, right? Because the completion date only counts towards the contract as it was originally. When you amend the contract, that also could therefore imply amending you know what I mean? Like, it takes you more time to do more stuff, right? So that could also be like a question. Does amending contract include due date? You know what I mean? And there was also that verbal confirmation she was getting, particularly when she said, I understand if you need to ship the dress late and things like that. These verbal confirmations that she, and the text confirmations that she got sent to send on some of those things might not go in her favor legally, potentially. Was that the end of the video? Or there's 5 more seconds?
Anyways, I hope I hit most of your guys' questions. Have a good night. We'll see you later.
Well, she answered questions for me, but she gave me more questions. You just gave me more questions, okay? Alrighty. And so I think this concludes because I just start reading the comments here. So this concludes what we're going to watch on this video here. And so next, we're going to move on to react to a video that Cenderra had posted about this. It's a quick one on her personal page. It's just 30 seconds. And before we do that, though, I just want to remind you real quick, if you're in New Orleans, I think you should go buy coffee at Monkey Monkey. Thank you. Yeah, that's my twins' coffee shop. So, here, what we're going to check out real quick is just a little something that Cenderra had posted on her Cenderra posted, not only did her personal page go public again, she made a fucking post here. So I figure we could check this shit out first and see what she says. It is a bit low, and yes, my desktop audio mixer is as high as it will go. So let's see what she said.
You have to stand on it is staying true to yourself, no matter what people say, no matter what the internet says. Staying true to what you know, and
so she I just realized that I had forgot to turn the little caption or auto captioner on. So let's go at it one more time because there's no captions there. Dara posted, not only did her personal page go public again, she made a fucking post here. So I figured we could check this shit out first and see what she says. It is a bit low, and yes, my desktop audio mixer is as high as it will go. So let's see what she said.
Where you have to stand on it is staying true to yourself, no matter what people say, no matter what the internet says. Staying true to what you know, and
so she's saying to like stay true to yourself, no matter what anyone says, no matter what the internet says. Stay true to what you know. I feel like this is like a what you tell yourself when you're a grounding. I don't know, or maybe I'm wrong. Okay, I'm sorry.
definitely not let any naysayers or any negativity affect you to a point where it makes you stray away from who you are.
Coming up with stuff on the top of your head. Every time you think about something, write that shit down on your
She was saying something about, I couldn't hear her. She was saying something about never making something be about something from who you are. I don't fucking know. The one comment on here from 3 hours ago was teamwork, and that was when I. Okay, sorry about rewatching that. I just needed to process what the fuck she had just said. Okay, so then let's move on to the next one here. We're gonna be watching this 1.75 speed. Get my captions on. Hopefully don't fuck this up again. Let's just check two quick things out real quick. I just want to show you where I believe that Casze may have potentially been making a video responding to Raylee, and let's just look at that real quick. In this video, it's just a 7-second one to I forgot if it's a song or a TikTok trend sound. This is the video she posted after that, and I think it was the last video at the time that I pulled all of this up, so we'll see if she's posted something else since then. But it says, point of view, me the week of my wedding due to having no wedding dress, and then let's see.
Do you know you have 30 minutes?
Okay, so do you know you have 30 minutes? 30 minutes, 30 minutes, trend song thing, and the other thing that caption that pops up next says, do you know we are 3 days from my wedding? And then it just says yes after that with a question mark. Okay. And then I just want to notice here where it says, if you're seeing this, it's your sign to check out the dress waste of time, but just in case, I'm going to go ahead and watch it real quick.
Do you know you have 30 minutes?
Okay, this is fucking hilarious because now she's using the do you know you have 30 minutes trend. And if you take it back to the beginning of this live stream, we watched where Raylee used that trend in her video talking about where was her wedding dress when it was 3 days before. So now, and this is 1 hour ago, Cenderra's just posted as a response, it's going on in 3 weeks and still nothing. Where's that thing? Hashtag 15 minutes a thing about the payment. That is so fucking petty. Isn't this hilarious?
30.
Dude, it's linked in the description of this video. I'm gonna link this video too. I'm just gonna throw this at the bottom and then later I'll go put it in the right order. But yeah, fucking in this video, I've already linked where it says Raylee promotes dress videos. That video is where Raylee uses this trend song. And so for Casze Cenderra to then post this video with that same trend, it was actually in this yeah, so it was in the same video here. I had accidentally pressed the wrong button, my bad. Somebody has been knocking on my door, but I'm really ignoring them. So, but I'm gonna just keep trying to do this until I finish. But if I end up having to pause, because I really just don't want to pause. But if I end up having to pause, that's why, my bad. All right. So moving on. Oh, okay, sorry. All right, moving on. I just got 2 more videos here. I had gotten confused looking at this way. Make sure my caption's on. An increased playback speed, 1.75. Okay, I've got some more stories from Casze and Raylee about each other. We're gonna keep watching. So if I can yeah, I don't know, or may or may not know. I've been using OBS to stream at this point. And on the scene list, if you've ever used OBS before, I've been using it like a list, and then I recently, like today, I decided to switch it to a grid. So if my transitions are worse than usual, they're already usually pretty bad because if my button doesn't fucking work, I'll just be clicking to somewhere else. And I'll be like, fuck it, go somewhere, god damn it, and then I'll go back to where I want to go. But then sometimes I'll just be hitting shit that I don't need to, and I'll be like, oops, my bad. So it's already typically pretty off. But if it's even worse than usual, that's because I changed it from a list to a grid, and it's all in new places. So I might actually click the wrong thing. And that's, yeah, I don't know. But again, so first of all, I wanted to check out. We've got the Casze. She made a post, and this was posted yesterday, and it's the only new thing that I saw. I couldn't remember. There's this one video, like I was on the Casze TikTok. This is the only new post right here about the dress that I've seen. I feel like the last posts were made a bit ago, so I'm pretty confident that if I remember correctly, I believe we watched these two. Um, I'm pretty sure that we watched this one on September 3rd. If I remember correctly, I'm very positive we watched this one. I don't remember. I think we watched this one as well on September 3rd. This one has these text messages. But I'm pretty sure we saw these before, if I'm not mistaken. I think we saw all of this already. Sorry, I got the wrong timestamp here. I thought that this was taking us to the most recent post. Let me fast forward here. Okay, let's see. Okay, but let's just watch this new video.
Camera ready.
So let's just start. This
It's so heavy. So don't you really think it's over 20 pounds?
this song I feel like is a trend that you use whenever something that's gonna fuck with your mind happens usually. In my opinion, that's kind of like what people typically use this song for, or when it's like a disaster usually. Like this song has been a trend for a lot of the hurricane content, for example. It's the I Was Only Temporary, My Head Is Empty song, if you look up that on TikTok. But um yeah. And in the video she's talking about making sure the skirt is put on her hips at the right angle and shit like that. But what I'm still not over though is the fact that like if I pay thousands and thousands of dollars for a custom wedding dress and you're doing a photography photo shoot with somebody else in that wedding dress, I would be pissed because what's the fucking point in getting a goddamn custom dress then? I could have just gotten that one off the fucking rack if I wanted to be like everybody else. You know what I mean? Like that's the whole point, is to have, my opinion, is like that's why you invest in it. And so it's part of it anyway. And then usually it's like you want to have a connection to it. If that dress is associated with somebody else and it's for your wedding day, you would want to have a connection to it. You know what I mean? So I'm still not over that. I still think that, so you know how initially everybody was on Cenderra's side, and it wasn't until Raylee showed that she didn't like the dress that everybody was like, you know what, we're for you. And that this blew up where other people were coming out about how they had gotten scammed by Casze, right? Now, I've already done that video where I showed the differences in those cases. You know what I'm saying? The biggest one being the paid in full, and the biggest one also being those other two never gave any form of written confirmation, or if they did, they didn't show it, to show that they ever approved the dresses, that they got any part of it. Whereas Raylee didn't fully pay for it, and in my opinion, there are specific moments where I believe Case's team is going to legally be able to say she gave us approval. And you can check my presentation for my reasoning, and you'd have to watch my videos to see the evidence, but the presentation shows you where the evidence is for each statement. But yeah, fucking, that's my thing. All right, hold on, let's keep watching.
They're gonna charge me more time. Sorry. Can we bring it down off her hips? Because she's tall. She's tall, John.
Well, Nina did China.
But yeah, you know what though? I still feel that, like, okay, so if she didn't scam those other two people, and if she didn't scam those other two people, that's where public opinion swayed, in my opinion. It would still be perceived as stolen. People just don't like her because she fucked over people. You know what I mean? In my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm making sense, right? Like, I need to drink more coffee to better articulate.
How's it supposed to make it in China? They have bachelor parties again. But
and it's like, yeah, you got a whole time to photo shoot with the dress, but can't get it on time. And again, let's be clear here. I don't like either. I originally did go into this believing Case's story. But I really don't like Case's business ethics. I don't like how Casze treats workers. I don't like how Casze treats customers. Alrighty, so then I think right here I just go into comments. So we're just gonna go forward. We're just gonna pull up some comments that I think Casze deleted that I do think are pretty telling now. There are other comments that I probably should have read, you know, because Casze, Cenderra and Casze had said some things in those comments also that I do think are worth going back to watch. I love how my eyes like rolled up and where I paused it. Anyway, but it is worth watching. Because we're going back and watching these clips from where they were. I did read the comment section, and in those comment section, Casze or Cenderra had said some shit too that I think is interesting, but some particular choice commentary that she had deleted, I decided to pull up here. These comments real quick, because I know I screenshot them. So I was just like, I had a feeling these were gonna get deleted, and I was like, I'm just gonna save these for later. I'm just gonna save these. All right, hold on. And okay, now if I remember correctly, I feel like this was a response to the comment, is it possible that she put the skirt on wrong? I think that's where these were, but it's not showing up. But for some reason, maybe I'm wrong, because that's a different, but I did not get the original comment. For some reason, I didn't screenshot that one. I just screenshot from the rest. So Casze had said it will not look the same. If the skirt that was compressed in a shipping box isn't fluffed, sew it even, the train is not put on adjusted properly, and you throw it on and take a sad picture. She received the same dress. This is her dress, hence the same crystal pattern, same short dress, same skirt, and short length on collar fit model. The garment is not put on properly. Oh, okay, so this should have gone, if the garment is not put on properly, it will not look the same. That, see this? And then, so she said, and then it says, well, it's gorgeous on this model, I guess. It fit right here, but it doesn't fit right on the bride. It's gorgeous dress nonetheless. But if it's a custom dress for the bride, it shouldn't have, fit the bride. But like, I feel like whether, you can have, I've already shown, and I forgot which video I did this in, but in one of my videos, I already showed with examples and real life proof how you can have design. So yeah, I felt like we're just saying sad picture. Like, that was some underhanded shit, in my opinion. Okay, and then moving on, Raylee has shared some other wedding stuff and shit, but we're just gonna skip on to what I feel is more particularly related to this situation explicitly. And here we go. So now we got this shit here. She's posted Robin from How I Met Your Mother laughing over the dress. So let's just see this.
No.
Okay, it's Robin going no, like over and over, like just saying no. And so people are saying that the one she got is way better. The center is off and all of this stuff. I'm gonna skip ahead here to avoid the comment section, and we're gonna watch this next post where Raylee Ricavina responds to a comment asking about why she decided to try to go with the other dress, since it seemed like it would have been a lot more elaborate than what she ended up doing. And so then now she's replying to a comment where it says, "You looked so beautiful in all of them. I'm curious how you decided to try to go with the other dress, since it seemed like it would have been a lot more elaborate than these." So yeah, let's see.
See something that you just love and you cannot live without? Well, that was me when I saw Albina Dila's 2022 collection for bridal wear. But I had never heard of Albina Dila before, and so I was nervous to order from them, so I wanted somebody more local. Their gowns are absolutely
the fuck you mean you wanted someone more local and then you order from several states away though? Okay.
Gorgeous. You can see in this picture how it's like lighter at the bottom. I did want a leg slit though, so this is also why I didn't order. This one is gorgeous. All the beadwork, it was a little more than what I wanted though. This mini dress was the original inspo. Beautiful. I wanted some danglies. Here are some of those tassels that I wanted. There just wasn't a dress that like had them all together in it, between the leg slit, the mini dress, the tassels, the type of beading that I wanted, and so I thought, oh, let's get it custom made. And that's why all of the dresses that I had tried on were so simple, because there was nothing around here that even gave any look of those other dresses that
I do feel like there are, in my opinion, more local custom dresses that she could have gotten, and she could have possibly gotten that customized. You know what I mean? Because there's a big difference between people already having pre-produced what is going to make them the most money, what most people want, versus, that doesn't mean you can't go get something custom made. I don't know. I just feel like there was nowhere in Colorado that she could have gone and gotten a dress like that. I'm like, did you even try? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't know Colorado that well, but I just know that in Louisiana and in Mississippi, both the places where I live, there are plenty of places you could go and get your dress customized, and you wouldn't have to go several states away unless you wanted to go to support that one business.
that I just showed you. All of the gowns that I tried on were gorgeous. It was just, I was so stuck on those other ones that
for me, it's like, I get that where if she meant she couldn't find one last minute, that makes fucking sense. But if you take it back to 6 to 8 months prior, then I absolutely believe she could have found someone in Colorado to do her dress, in my opinion.
pictures that I just showed you, that I couldn't get it out of my head, and I just wasn't finding the dress. Now, obviously, I didn't even get to wear the one that I was hoping to, but it is what it is.
I still don't understand why you would expect a refund for something that you still have, though. Like, if you don't return it, and you don't pay the rest, then whether or not she takes you to small claims court would be iffy because the attorney fee, she wouldn't recover the full amount anyway. But you know what I mean? I just feel like at this point, it doesn't fucking matter. Like, not much might come out of this legally, to be honest, because even if she had a defamation case, at this point, part of defamation is being able to prove that you were harmed financially by something, and that something has impacted your ability to make money. But I've already shown how Raylee's account has only grown from this. She's only profiting from this. You know what I'm saying? So she's not going to have a defamation case because part of defamation case is you have to prove harm. And even if she got the bad reviews or whatever and all that shit, the amount of support she's gotten has far outweighed that. And the team's going to be able to argue, like, because she's still using this situation for views, and this situation is what has gotten her views, so it didn't harm her, it helped her, to be honest. In my opinion, this is only going to help her business do better, and it wouldn't have done as well without Cenderra of Casze, like, making her go viral, whether or not you agree with the situation. And I don't like either of them, but that's just my opinion. And my opinion from that comes from analyzing their following accounts, their followings, and their engagement before and after the situation, as well. Are you taking her to court?
A weighted dress update. I'm going to go over what has happened since I put my video on social media and the facts, and I'm also going to go over a little bit about the dress more in detail. The biggest question I've been asked is, has there been any refunds from the dress? And the answer is no, there has not been anything refunded. And
oh, my bad. If it was weird with the audio there, I skipped ahead and skipped through shit. My bad. But yeah. My opinion is still, you can't, even if you don't like the product, you can't expect a refund on a dress you haven't returned, in my opinion.
there actually has been no communication since all of this went down. So another thing that's been happening since I put my videos up is I've had so many women reach out to me telling me that they've had such similar stories, and it seriously breaks my heart to hear that their special events, whether it was, you know,
Now, I absolutely do think that Casze has scammed a lot of people and has fucked over a lot of people. What I will say, though, is not every single one of her transactions has gone back. You know, and some transactions she does deliver. And so, but here's the thing. In my opinion, just because, you know, somebody has fucked over other people in the past, and just because you're not happy with the dress you got, it doesn't really justify, like, if you take the dress, you know what I mean, without paying for it. That's why, like, that original, where it's like, I think the Real Jinsu originally called their video on this, the scammer got scammed. And I don't know how they feel about this situation, so I'm not trying to project their feelings. I'm trying to say my interpretation of that wording is, applying it to this, is I feel like she just scammed the scammer. You know what I mean? Like, they both, in my opinion, I don't feel like either of them have acted in good faith in this transaction. Because Raylee was giving approval on a lot of the things that now she's saying she didn't ever like or whatever. And it's like, that's fine if you don't like it. I'm not trying to tell you how to feel. But I'm just saying, you put it in writing that you did. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like there's going to be, you know, like, the legal argument, the public opinion is totally valid, however you feel is valid, but when it goes to court, the legal argument, they're not going to care about, like, unless there's, like, public opinion only matters to the extent that a jury may or may not be involved, if a jury would be involved on this. And I don't know if it's just going to be like, I don't know how that works. The jury would see that, or it would just be on a judge thing. Or if it would most likely get settled outside of court. A lot of people try to settle outside of court because court is extremely expensive, so the sooner you settle, the cheaper to litigate. I don't know. Or is that even litigation if you don't go to court? I don't fucking know. Look, I'm not a lawyer, I just work at some law offices, okay? But yeah. And another thing, it's really good not to say too much when you're going to court, because people will use every single thing you've ever published against you. So, yeah.
Initially, I was trying to...
This is the law of other women, that their special events, whether it was, you know, a birthday or a dance, like, have just been ruined as well. I feel for them, and I can't believe that I'm not the only one that this has happened to. Like, it's happened.
I do feel, though, that she's not the same as them. You know what I'm saying? There's, like, she's trying to lump herself in with the other Casze victims. I don't perceive her as a victim of Casze. And the reason being is she gave approval and she never paid in full. Everybody else with Casze, they did not give approval and they did pay in full. So I perceive them as have gotten scammed and as, you know, victims of the situation, in my opinion. And the employees obviously didn't get fucking paid for their work, right? I don't see Raylee as that because she didn't pay for it and she gave approval. So in my opinion, it just kind of looks like Raylee changed her mind and didn't want to give the dress back, but expects a full refund for it anyway, just because she doesn't like it anymore. That's how it comes out for me, personally. And again, I don't like either Casze or Raylee. The only side I'm on is the employee side in this situation.
Been so many other times. I've had a lot of other women who have been on the other side of it with actually making the dresses reach out to me from before any of my stuff and have told me their stories that have been also horrific. I will tag the account that they are using to tell their stories on so that you guys can go watch that, because it is horrible what's going on. I honestly don't even know what to say. Like, this has just seriously unraveled so many bad aspects of this business that I can't even fathom being that kind of...
I absolutely agree that it's does highlight the bad aspects of the Casze business practices. I just wish she had more self-reflection to understand where she needs to take accountability for her own actions. She's not acknowledging how she confirmed the dress. She's not acknowledging how she's not paying in full. You know what I mean? I feel like she's trying to act. I feel like that's what she's doing. Like, I don't know if it's to make herself feel better. I don't know. I also wonder if this is gonna be another situation how like so with the sepia wedding photography situation, the sepia bride like just decided she didn't like the pictures anymore and tried to ruin this photographer's business or whatever. Now the biggest difference in this comparison is in that comparison the bride called out the photographer, in this comparison the dress designer called out the bride, right? So that's obviously not the same, but what feels the same for me is the way she's so fixated on the dress and the way she's so fixated on like lumping herself in with the other victims, even though she fucking paid him, even though she doesn't have those same situations as them because she had given approval and she didn't pay for it in full. I don't know, and she threatened to place on her too after inviting her. That's what I don't under. That's what I want to know. Like, did she get blocked? Like, did she already know that the ticket to come was booked before or after blocking? Because she had told her to come, right? So she had told her to come. Then she paid for a ticket. If that happened, and you know what I mean? Like, that's right. That's where I would be like, ugh. I don't know. I don't know. So that's where I have questions that would make me. So like, there are certain things in this case where I'm like, I would have to see those evidence to have a full decision or like thought either way. Like, I'm still like, I don't know what happened is what I'm saying, and this is what I'm questioning. I'm not saying anything is what happened. I don't know what happened, right? But yeah, I'm sorry for this ramble.
Business person. If you're not standing behind your product.
Oh yeah, back to it. So everything that she got though, like it does look just like what you would expect from Case's social media profile, right? The dress does fit to what you would expect to be received from what is presented, in my opinion. And so that's where I feel like it's the same, where it's just like you really decided last minute to stress out over this dress that you approved and you didn't pay for in full. And you even approved the late, it would be one thing, like she did approve, she did say, if you have to send this late, that is fine. Now, on premise, I absolutely agree, it's fucking horrible to send a fucking dress late, especially a wedding dress, hell no, absolutely agree, on premise, that's a horrible thing to do, right? But she did approve it, is what I'm saying. Whether or not I would agree with it on premise, I wouldn't approve that shit personally, but she did approve it. And then she's deciding after she didn't like what she approved, and it's one thing to change your mind, but it's like the way she just last minute decided she now hates everything that she approved for the wedding dress, for the wedding. That's where it reminded me of the wedding photography situation where I'm like, did you really not like the dress? Did you really have to stress the last few days on your wedding that much instead of, you know what I mean? I don't know. Like, it just feels something is there for me where I'm just like, The sepia bride got divorced about a year later, so we'll see. We'll see how long this takes.
Why are you even doing it? Why are you making these things, or why are you doing that craft? Like, if you're...
Now, I do absolutely agree that, like, there are issues with the business flow and the business practices there. I think that if Cenderra would be upfront with how the dresses are made, there wouldn't be anything wrong with that, because there will be people who still want that damn thing as long as they know what the fuck they're getting. And you know what the fuck I mean? Like, for example, for me, for my merch, I tell people, this is made by Printful. It is drop shipping. It is print on demand. You know, I'm very, like, I try to be as clear upfront as possible what the fuck you're getting. Like, I'm not sitting here like, hey guys, I'm printing this all myself. No, I'm not. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, I don't print this shit. Somebody else is. That's what the fuck I'm telling you. You know what I mean? So, I do absolutely get, like, like, if, like, just because she's producing it this way doesn't itself necessarily have to mean, like, that it's bad, but it's the way she isn't transparent about the production process that is problematic, in my opinion. I do agree with that. And I do agree, like, if you care about your craft, you really should try and give a fuck about your business flow, the end offer, and managing expectations and shit like that. I do think those are all good things. I will also say, though, you can't approve what somebody's doing and tell them, yeah, this is what I want, you're doing good, I'm good with this, I'm okay with this, and then decide after you're not going to pay in full, and then say it's because they didn't care enough about their job, whenever you were telling them all along, yeah, I'm good with this. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm like, okay, you should have been more upfront and more communication. And I feel like she's not taking accountability for where she communicated certain things. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how is Casze, or you can't hold a company responsible for giving you a product you want if you're not telling them what you want. You know what I mean? Like, if you tell them you want this and they give you that because you said you wanted it, and then after you get it, you're like, I don't want this now. And it's just like, well, you proved it before we gave it to you, so what changed? Right? That's where I'm at. So.
You're not standing behind it and making sure it's perfect work, or at least that your client is happy.
And what I just said stands for that.
Another question I was asked was, is this person still in business? And I would assume yes. Again, I haven't had any contact, so I don't know.
One transaction isn't going to make or break any business unless that business has so many other fucking problems that they needed that one transaction to continue going. You know what I'm saying?
One of the funnier questions I was asked was, did your husband know that all this dress drama was going on, like, while it was happening? And the answer is yes. He knew I was getting a custom dress made down there, and he kind of was like, do we really need to do that? Like, is that really what you want? And I was like, yes, that's really what I want. And he was like, okay, honey. And then he came with me to my last fitting, which was the 9th through the 11th, and we thought we were taking the dress home, so I figured I would have it either in like a box or like a dust bag, you know, that wasn't like see-through, because we flew down there, and we obviously ended up not taking it home, but, you know, I thought it was going to be shipped out on like the 15th. It never did, and then...
And I'm still coming back to it. She gave written approval that it could be sent late. I'm just saying, I understand bitching about this shit, complaining about this shit, not wanting that shit. Totally get that. That's valid, right? However, I don't get approving it when you're not happy with it. Don't approve something that you're not actually okay with. You know what the fuck I mean? That's what I'm saying.
Another week goes by, and he wasn't really stressed about it at all, because I don't think he realized I didn't have a backup. I didn't think I needed one. It was a custom dress. So I don't think he was stressed or worried at all about it. It was more just him being like, I can't believe that we paid this much and spent this much money to go there, and then you not even get to wear it or anything. And when...
In my opinion, though, she could have worn the dress. She just decided not to. I don't feel like the dress was like that bad. I feel like she's just over exaggerating to nitpick. You know what I mean? In my opinion, but that's just me. I feel like you could have definitely, like, they're trying to claim that they couldn't have, that they put the skirt on to where it's off center because it will show her crotch if not. But then when they put the full dress on, the mini dress under, in my opinion, that didn't seem to be, that it seemed to go low enough to where that wouldn't happen. So in my opinion, if you straighten the skirt, why would it matter if you can see the mini dress underneath? That's still cute, in my opinion. So that was, like, in my opinion, the biggest thing wrong would be to have the train center. But in my opinion, like, and they were saying they didn't want to do that because the slit wasn't exactly where they wanted it, if they did that or something. But in my opinion, if the mini dress, from what I saw on the photos of her wearing it, it fit well. So I don't understand. That's just me, though. Like, I feel like she just, like, wasn't feeling confident in herself. And I feel like she's probably not confident in the marriage. So she, like, took it out on the wedding dress, in my opinion, potentially. Like, literally, in my opinion, I absolutely agree that Casze sucks as a business owner, that Case's fucked over a lot of people, right? But that's irrelevant as to this case, because Casze hasn't fucked over every single transaction, right? In certain transactions, he does a good job. In this transaction, in my opinion, from the receipts that I have seen, because of places where Raylee gave approval, in my opinion, I feel like, I don't know, I don't like either of them, but I really feel like Raylee is taking something out on this dress that has to do with her own sense of self-worth, in my opinion, because there was nothing wrong with the dress. She looked fine in the dress. She just decided she didn't like the dress. And I think it has to do with how she felt about herself, in my opinion.
And I got it in on the Thursday before my wedding, and I tried it on, and I was like, I was literally in tears. You guys saw the picture.
There's nothing wrong with the dress, though. The dress didn't look any better or worse on her than any other dress she tried on, in my opinion. But that's just me. Now, if she hadn't given approval on any of the things, right? If she had not given approval, then I would be full gung-ho, like, yeah, fuck that shit. You didn't get what you wanted. You know what I'm saying? But it's the fact that she gave approval for me that I'm really having a hard time giving the benefit of the doubt or giving some grace to where I'm like, yeah, man, you really didn't get what you wanted. Because she said she gave the approval. Don't approve something you don't fucking...
I didn't want to show it to him because I was like, well, I need to take it to somebody and see if it's fixable, which, like, the entire train being off the right butt cheek.
The train is on a skirt that you put on where you want the train to be. So you put it there, in my opinion. I'm just saying. We have to be real. Because if she had centered the train, in my opinion, it shouldn't fucking matter where the goddamn slit is. Like, she wanted to slit in one specific place. So what? No, in my opinion, the mini dress was long enough to have everything covered. I don't know.
It wasn't fixable, and the seamstress that I brought it to even said, like, not in 2 days. So I didn't show him the picture of my dress until I had already gotten a new one. And
here's why I think it's connected to the marriage. Because for me, if I'm over here like, I can't get married to you in this dress because the slit needs to be 4 inches to the right, then for me, I don't feel like it's not about the dress. I just don't want to get married to you. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I'm making sense, right? Because if I want to get married to someone, I could get married to them in, you know, a brown paper bag and be absolutely fucking happy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's just me, though. That's just me. Like, yeah, you want to have a special date, all that good shit, or whatever. But, you know, yeah, everybody deserves to have their special gown or whatever. But when you approve the dress you get, and then after you got the dress, you said you were okay with getting, in my opinion. And that's where I'm like, that's why I have this, just like, she was over here like, no, I can't get married in this dress because the slit is at 4 inches over or something.
And talked to the seamstress, and she was like, we can't do anything about this. So that's when I finally showed him, which it was like after the wedding, because Thursday we got the dress in. I tried it on, didn't show him a picture. Thursday I went and bought a new dress, didn't know if I was gonna be able to find one, so I didn't know what was going on. And then Friday it was so hectic.
Okay, so if you subscribe to the tradition that it is bad luck to see the bride in her dress before the wedding, then I absolutely agree with her not wanting to show him. She's like, can't see me in my dress, it's bad luck, right? I get that. You know what? The superstitions come from, you know, reasons, and I'm okay with people who, like, you know, we all have, like, our beliefs, right? But if it's just more of like a, I don't want you to see me because I don't think I look pretty thing, then there's something else wrong with that marriage, in my opinion. Because I'm over here, like, with my partner, I'm like, yo, take a picture of my butt cheek, I got spider bite on it. And then I look at the picture and I'm just like, bro, is my ass really that hairy? You know what I mean? I'm sorry, I'm like this. Holy shit, okay.
That I didn't even have time to, like, sit down with him and show him any of it or talk to him about it. I literally just had to let it go until after the wedding. Go to part 2 for the details on the dress. If you have any other questions.
So yeah, I love how she's doing a part 2, even though there's room here. So yeah, it's because people are more likely to watch a shorter video than a longer one, in my opinion. And now we got part 2, and this is from last night. And in the description here, it says she's going to do a part 3 today, with details on the mini dress that were not correct. So yeah. And then when people say it's supposed to be custom made for Raylee, not the busty model, the dress didn't seem to be custom made for the model either, because it didn't seem to like fully be custom to the model's body either, in my opinion. I feel like people are really hung up on the I'm hung up on the fact that the model was in the dress just on the premise of you don't let someone else wear and take professional photos in another fucking person's goddamn wedding dress. That's just disrespectful for a custom dress, but no. But the fact that they have 2 different body types and it's the same dress, that doesn't matter to me. Like, you would have to have, you know, like you can have 2 people with very different body types and the exact same size will fit them both. It looks different on them both, but that doesn't mean that the size alteration changed. You know what I'm saying? So that is where I'm like, y'all need to get over that shit, in my opinion. But hold up,
Saga update. This is going to be strictly about details on the dress and just going a little more in depth about it. Let's get into it. First things first, what we've already talked about is the train is completely off to the right side.
So the train that's off to the right is on this dress with the belt. They could have taken the belt and moved it over so the chain would be centered. The reason they didn't do that would be because they were saying they didn't want the slit this many inches over in front. In my opinion, that shouldn't fucking matter. Because in my opinion, I do believe, regardless of the problems with the mini dress, I do believe it was long enough to cover crotch. So, you know what I mean? Like, she just didn't like the placement. So yeah.
As you can see, here is center where that first piece of yellow tape is, and then the train is over like 2 inches. And then you can also see that both hips are different widths. This one has like not enough tulle, and this one has way too much.
So part of what the original design had wanted, she had requested in the original design for the V to go down, in my opinion. So if it was shifted over, the belt would have had that effect in that design. So where she's claiming it's uneven, in my opinion, I think it looks that way because she didn't shift the dress over, and because her and the designer had different interpretations of what she meant with the effect on the dress with the beading and the ombre effect, in my opinion.
They're not even at all. You can see all of this extra fabric right here, and at the bottom it is not connected at all. And you can see, take a note how this side is laying, because the other side does not even lay like that at all. Again, this belt was never supposed to be a belt at all. It's 3.
That's where she's saying the belt was never supposed to be a belt. The belt was in the checklist, and she's talking about the belt in writing, asking for it in writing, in text messages, in my opinion, based on what you've seen with the receipts previously. So that's where I have in my presentation questions about this belt. Was it not supposed to be there to begin with, and she got talked into it to begin with, and that didn't happen in writing, and we just don't know about that conversation? Or did she just change her mind about it? Like, I don't know, I'm asking. But it looks, you know what I mean, because of what we have in writing, when she says there was never supposed to be a belt, that's where I go, well, why is it in writing then, and why is it coming from you? You know what I'm saying? And then where you look at right here, where she's talking about the way this lays, you see how this is off though. If she shifted this over, in my opinion, then this would come around, and it would have provided where this would have been where her leg would be, and this would have been, it would have been right. I think that has to be with the matter if she's just like, I am not shifting this belt so that this is even, because she wanted that slit where the slit was or something. I don't know.
Inches on this left side wide, and it's 2 inches on the other side. And then you can see how horribly that bottom piece is laying. That's right here. That's supposed to be laying completely flat. This is all extra fabric that isn't even connected. It's just hanging there, not connected at all. Before I even took this out of the package, jewels were falling off of it. They weren't even staying on. You can see here, again, that was never supposed to be that thick or that.
So here's what I'm saying. You see how the dress comes down just above her knee, I think? Maybe there's about a hand of room before where the dress comes down above the knee. So you see right here where I was saying with the belt, where she's claiming it's uneven, but this is where I think they had different interpretations of the ombre effect. Now, I'm seeing where right here, this big bead, she has to put it here for this big bead to align. I can see that. But if she shifted it over, then that wouldn't matter, because this could be on the side and it could go to the center with this right here, and it would get that ombre effect, and she'd still have the skirt underneath. So theoretically, does someone have the right to what if she had not approved the things on this dress in writing previously? If she had not given her approval on everything that she's complaining about, I would be like, yeah, bitch, complain about all that shit, because but that, you know what I'm saying? But where I have an issue is that how the evidence shows she gave the approval. That's where, and then it's like the things she gave the approval on, now that she's mad about it, for me it's like, this isn't worth not wanting to get married in a dress for your wedding on. You know what I mean? In my opinion, it's just like, I don't know. Like, her boobs look good here. Even if you wanted, like, I wouldn't have noticed the differences until she pointed it out. I didn't even notice how this one might have been more roundy, this one might be more pointy. That's not noticeable. If she if she adjusted the belt and the skirt, it would look fine. Like, I don't know. So theoretically, if she doesn't want this dress though, she shouldn't have to make herself want a dress she doesn't want, right? But she did approve it all as it went down. So that's where I'm like hung up at.
You can also see I'm showing you that it's lined up in the front. The hips are off. Even the leg slit like curls.
I think they possibly had different interpretations. Because, okay, so if this was shifted more over here, the slit would actually end up coming down towards this side more. That would be, honestly, I think her and the designer just have different interpretations of how this would get put on. I honestly don't. If she doesn't want it, that's fine. But I don't know.
In.
Oh, and the part where the fabric panel wasn't attached to the rest. I think, that does give credence to where the designer had been explaining how the dress is made. That kind of shows it. And I do agree, though, that part is like off. Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm not saying I don't disagree with any critiques that come out. What I disagree with is giving approval on something you don't like and then expecting a refund for it. That's what I'm saying.
And then as you can see right here, this pleat is supposed to match up with the other side. You're supposed to be able to see the other side of the pleat, and you can't. The bottom was supposed to be connected, but it's flipping out right here where the leg slit.
How is it bottom supposed to be connected if there is a, oh, is she talking about the panel to the dress? Okay. In my head, I'm like, how is it supposed to be connected if it's a slit? But then I see right here, she's talking, like, if you look under her to the right, you can see where the mesh is, like, apart from, like, whatever that fucking material is. Let's say it's satin. I don't know what these materials are. Let's assume it's, like, tulle and satin. I don't know what it is. But you see where it's, like, that one like, white fabric with this tulle on top? It's not connected. I can see that.
Should have been more open. It's not connected at the bottom. The pleats aren't matching. Check out how this is laying.
I think all of that though might have to come with how the dress got packaged and with needing to, I do think that can relate to needing to fluff it out and needing to, they had different ideas of what the dress belt thing, whatever the fuck is going to come out like. That is what I think happened. But either way, like, do I think a bride should have to pay for a dress they don't want? No. But at the same time, she did give approval on this shit. And my previous video showed evidence for all that.
Here, when we get there, it is totally indented. I'm back to talking about the pleat. It is so far in. It was supposed to be further out, like I'm showing you there. It was supposed to be similar to this side, except the entire overlay was supposed to follow each pleat of the skirt, and it did not. That side of the pleat you can't even see on that hip. This one was so far forward. I kept asking them to move it back before I left. Again, that belt. And then you can see how this one is so inverted, and it.
I don't think that if she did ask for them to move that pleat before she left, I don't think that was put in writing. And in the writing, she did approve the dress. Like, it shows where she was happy with the fitting and that she was okay with the dress coming late. And there are like these things where the approval happened. I feel it's gonna get used against, could get used against her in court. Where if she tries to say I didn't like this, they're gonna be like, why the fuck did you say it was okay?
Right here, it's not even connected. It's not connected at all. This was all supposed to be sewn down. This is just loose fabric. Also, I found a pin in the dress. I found a safety pin. So as you can see, this is so much more inverted. The belt was supposed to ombre. It was not supposed to be a freaking belt. Look at how indented that is. It's supposed to be a ball gown, or at least more of a ball gown. I don't know what this is. Look at all of this bunched up fabric right here. And mind you, all of these jewels up here were glued on top of the original dress that was sent to me in a picture on August 6th, I believe.
And again, if you don't want glue in your fucking wedding dress, totally valid. However, glue is in her checklist. So I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It's in the belt and the glue are in the. Hi, how are you? I don't know if this is like live or recording still or not right now. My fucking OBS had fucking crashed on me again, so now I don't know what the fuck is happening. So, but I think I'm working. I think it's back up again. All right, I tried to pause where we left off. My bad. Okay, hold up. All right, so we have left off about right here. And let's just see if we can finish up. I don't remember. I had been saying right here, with the glue situation, that this was, she put the glue and the belt in her own checklist and she asked for it in writing. These are things that she approved. Now, and so I'll come back to like everything that she's saying. I do think are valid critiques of the dress. However, the fact that she gave approval on things is why I don't feel she has a case. You know what I'm saying?
These jewels that are here were glued on top of a previous design. Again, train off, check out the hips, how different each side of the hips are, how this side is so much more indented. Guys, I tried to fluff it, I tried to make it perfect, I tried, but there's just some things that can't be fixed. And I would say that this was one of them, especially when I was only given 2 days to figure it out. This is showing how it wasn't even connected again. I don't know. There's just so much loose fabric right there that wasn't supposed to be there at all. Again, the belt. What is up with the belt? Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, comment them.
So yeah, and so basically you have the train not centered. Is how they not see that? That's because they wouldn't put the train on not centered on somebody. Like, you can adjust it, you can turn it however you want. She's putting it in that place on purpose for these videos, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Because why the fuck are you know that you can put the train on to where it's centered, but you intentionally don't? You're doing that on purpose. You know what I mean? It's one thing if the train gets turned around, but I don't know. That's just me. My opinion. So yeah, so that ends up Raylee sharing here. So now we've got Raylee sharing one more part about the dress, and then we also have Cenderra reposting the dress once more, and so we'll check these things out. She's only posted 2 videos about the situation. So one of them, basically, it says you can't prove that, and it's got like a man walking forward with like a book, and it's like dropping the book, and it shows like a collage of like screenshots and pictures of what would be the evidence. But you can't. It's not big enough to make out what any individual piece of any of it says. But it does look like it's showing a lot of what and more of what has been shown in the videos that we've seen so far that they've put out. And it looks like I think that's the Soulja Boy song. Oh, nope, not at all. I don't know why I thought the beginning of it was. That's what it reminded me of. That's just my millennial ass stuff. But yeah, fucking. So yeah. So what I have my presentation. I have my screen. My presentation about all my questions regarding screenshots and everything that they've shown, and that's in description of the video in that playlist. I have over 40 questions, and none of them have been answered. And I think I was counting the discrepancies or what could be perceived as lies on both sides. And there are some of the things that don't add up with Raylee, but most of it is what doesn't add up with Cenderra, because there's just a lot more things that Cenderra has said where you can see. But then there are certain things that Raylee said that I really think could strongly get used against her in court, whether or not you agree with whose side you're on. And again, I'm on neither side. I don't like either of them. But there are specific things that I think could get used against Raylee. Depending on what is in the contract, though, and then there are like specific things that I don't know what would happen, which are why I have questions, and that would be what would sway my opinion if I knew the answers to those questions. But I never got answers on those questions, so I can't fully say like with certainty which side I believe anymore. Although I fully admit I went into it believing Casze when that first came out. I absolutely did. I fully admit it. And then now I would need these questions answered to have like to fully say, okay, this is where I believe. But I'm gonna skip ahead here. Let's see. I'm just debating shit here. Reading comments. Okay, let's get to part 3. And this is where she is going over why she doesn't like the mini dress. And I want to reiterate, she did give approval on a lot of the things that I believe that she has previously said was wrong with it. She did give, like, in my opinion, in writing, there are things that were given approval on that I feel could be used against her. However, in general, everything she is saying about why she doesn't like the dress, I think is a valid reason not to like the dress. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think she's like wrong for not liking the dress. I just think there's, depending on what happened with what the evidence was shown to us, that could. Okay, I'm talking in circles. I'm sorry. Let's just watch the goddamn thing.
Let's get into this mini dress, part 3. Here's a quick look at the mini dress. This is the front, and this is the back.
Now, in regards to the see-throughness of the dress, I feel like that could be a reason to complain, but that could also have been a chosen design decision, whatever. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's words, but with the right underwear, I think that aspect of this dress could work depending on the aesthetic you're generally going for, in my opinion. But yeah, let's see what she says.
This was my last fitting while I was still in Miami, but you can see that in these photos there's still a lot that wasn't finished.
So what I was saying to get used against her is immediately after this fitting, there's text messages that Cenderra showed, and if that really happened, in that text message, Raylee had said, "I'm so happy with how today went." So that wording might get used against Raylee in court, in my opinion, in terms of how the designers their team might be able to argue with, well, she said she was happy.
I'm not going to zoom in on my butt, but you can definitely see where the zipper is bunching up. Even without the ribbon tucked into there, it still bunches out by itself. While I was there were still several places that were rubbing me that needed fabric to go over them. This was one of the places, as well as the top of the points. Speaking of the points, since they weren't finished when I was there, this is what they looked like when I got them. They are different.
So, and again, I do think these are all valid critiques, but what I think could alter what happens, what would be a legal decision on that shit would be like, where she had said she was happy with how the thing went, she gave approval in writing on the dress arriving late. If that evidence was real, I believe that happened. Could have happened, if that did happen as shown, then that could get used against her as it relates to all of this. And then the question of if Cenderra actually booked a ticket up there after she was asked to do so, at what point before or after was she blocked and things like that? Like all of those things I think could factor in. Like for example, and what I mean by that is if Raylee was asking Cenderra to come, so Cenderra had booked the flight, and if that actually happened, if Cenderra did after that, before Raylee threatened to block her or said that she was getting blocked, and if Raylee already knew that Cenderra was coming before blocking, then that might not go well for Raylee legally in terms of where they're going to be able to say, well, we made best efforts, right? But if Cenderra had never said she was going to come for that shit and didn't do any of that if she did until after being told she was getting blocked and being blocked if that happened, then that doesn't go well for Casze, you know what I mean? And so like a lot of the questions I have at this point with both sides here, it's like you would have to, you know what I mean, see that evidence to know, right? For me.
Heights. They are different shapes around the breast area. This was the straight down look from the breast area. As you can see, it's digging into me, and the jewels are sticking out so far because they're just on top of each other. Here's a closer look at that. This is the inside of the left cup. There's no fabric on the point, so that was still rubbing me. And then this is the right cup, and again, no fabric plus different sizes.
I'm assuming that whenever Rayleigh like gave approval on how the day went, or like, you know, the things are right and late, she was thinking this shit would get fixed because, you know, or like it wouldn't be like this. But if that, for me also, like some of the critiques though, while they are valid critiques, where they might not go in her legal case for her, in terms of working out for her as critiques, would be like if, you know, where she was talking about the jewels sticking out a lot, if things like that were happening, when she said she was happy with how the fitting went, then in court they might be like, why the fuck you say you're happy? You know, things like that. We're not gonna say it like that, but you know what I mean. If I'm making sense, am I making sense? I'm probably not making sense.
Here's a photo of the mini dress, just the top half. I'm going to drop the brightness down a little bit so you can see it against the carpet better. First of all, the very top strip was supposed to be just crystals. It wasn't supposed to alternate pearls and diamonds on the top. This jewel was supposed to be glued down so that it wouldn't get messed up because it was such a small piece from...
So right here, she says this was supposed to be glued down. So there's been a lot of back and forth about whether or not she wanted the glue. And sometimes she'll say things where I'm like, it sounds like you said you might, like, I don't know, but I'm not, you know, I'm not trying to speak for her. I wasn't there. I'm just saying maybe someone could understand why I questioned that aspect of it based on things that have been said and shown, right? Like it was in the checklist. You know what I mean? So, and it's kind of like the same thing with the belt. And it's like, okay, I'm not saying that any of the critiques on the results are invalid. I'm just saying I believe there has been some miscommunication as well. Or perhaps a change of mind. Who knows? You know what I mean?
From the big jewel down to this one, I asked for these clear beads to all be taken off and more of these to go on. We're missing 2 jewels here. This is supposed to be glued down on this side and it's not. This is another jewel that's missing. This is another jewel missing. This is missing. This is another jewel missing. This was supposed to be all silver at the top to line it, and it's not. There was supposed to be fabric here so it wouldn't rub me wrong.
And now I'm thinking about the glue thing again. So like she had complained about the type of glue. Also, I don't know enough about glue to know, and this that like, you know, making clothes to know the correct shit, right? So I'm not, but what I'm asking is like, you know, maybe that's what she meant. Maybe the issue wasn't whether or not glue was used. Maybe it could have been the type of glue, because also when she complained, she never complains about just saying, oh, you use glue. She said you use, I forgot what it was, but it was E something 100 glue. You know what I mean? So like E something 100, I don't know, or 1,000 or whatever. I don't know about glue, but E something glue. And she was like, it was just specific glue she was mad about, I think. So maybe that was like the wrong type of glue. Maybe that was it, or was it about glue in general? I don't know. You know what I mean? But whatever.
There's whatever that yellow of these.
I'm getting a notification that OBS got disconnected and reconnected. I am hoping that didn't mess up my stream, but in case it did, the original video, if you want to make sure you go catch it, is linked in the playlist, as well as like you can go see the whole thing timestamped in the Thursday Thoughts Rayleigh Says More About Casze video. So yeah, let's see. I'm just gonna take it back like 15-ish seconds or so. Okay.
It's still pooches. All of these pearl flowers were supposed to be taken off, or something was supposed to be put over them. All of these beads again were supposed to be off. There was supposed to be more of these. The original design, you were supposed to see more of the corset, and these jewels were supposed to line the corset all the way down. When I saw it at my final fitting, I knew that this is all super thick because it was just glued right on top of the design was all this, and it was not correct at all. And that was right before my last fitting, and this is 12 days late.
And again, I think these are all valid critiques, but if this was how she really felt, did she say these things during the fitting, or why did she tell in writing that she was happy with how it went? Because I would never have said I was happy with how things went if there were this much shit going on with my own dress personally. But I'm also not trying to, like, you know, blame someone else for how they handle something. Perhaps this ties back to where, you know, she had said she had trauma or whatever previously, and so this could tie back to trauma, and maybe she's a people pleaser or something. Alrighty. Yeah, I don't know why I'm speculating on that over there. I guess that's self-projecting, or maybe it's seeing a pattern. Who knows? But fucking. Then let's see. Cenderra reposted the dress after that, so let's see that. Then so Cenderra on her personal page also posted this yesterday. So, and it's the mini dress. So let's see. So I'm not going to play the song for copyright issues, but it's just her filming the wedding dress on the model again. And that still really bugs me. It rubs me the wrong way, because you don't promote somebody else wearing a custom couture dress that someone designed for themselves for their wedding. It's just disrespectful. Like, the whole fucking point is to have that dress, you know, like no one else is going to have a dress like that, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Like, I literally had ordered custom lingerie from a designer one time, and then the bitch was doing photo shoots with other people in it, and I was just like, okay, well, I don't want to buy that anymore. And she was like mad at me for not wanting it. She was like, but I made it for you, and I was like, yeah, but I wanted it for a photo shoot. So the whole point of me getting custom lingerie for this photo shoot was that to be the differentiator for me to have something, because you can just go. So and then I was just like, I just wanted something that you're not gonna just see anybody else wearing. And now there's already photos out there of someone else in the exact same outfit, and so that was the whole reason I literally told you that I was getting it. And so now I don't want it because I want to go find that from somewhere else, right? And so and fucking. My bad, I didn't realize the rest of that was just me ranting about again, but yeah, so just a quick video. So that is where we're at now. We have officially caught up with the entire story, what's been posted. Hold on, it's gonna autoplay. So in a second, what we're gonna do is watch that fucking video, because I'm gonna play that on 2x speed, fuck it, or 1.75, because we're going to play that now. We're going to conclude real quick, and then before I roll my outro, I'm going to play that, which is just a presentation on things that don't add up, what I need to process to lean either way. So at this point, the reason I did this was when I had originally got all of this information, I got it in spurts, not straightforward in one stream, And so my purpose of this stream was to put it all together in one unit, so that way, because it was all split processing for me before, and so getting their full back and forth in one go is just one of the ways that I'm able to see okay, what are they saying and what are their stories without other people's interpretations of it. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what I did there. So thank you for joining me with that. So my original plan was to see I didn't know how long this was going to take. I didn't really think about that. And so my original plan was I was going to do the other clients and the employee story as well. But I think I'll have to do that, and if not more than one other live stream. So at least one more live stream. I will prep and make it happen the same way for all of that as well. And I might put it all in one live stream, but do it in the parts by, the sections there. So that way it will fucking be the same thing for me, because I was getting each of these stories divided and with other themes thrown in the mix. And so for me, it's just real nice to sit there and watch it one more time, just again, as one unit. Instead of part by part, and you're waiting and you're seeing other things are happening before you find out what happened next, just rewatching it okay, process it. All right, well, thank you for joining me. I'm going to play this fucking shit does not add up presentation, and then I will roll the outro. So I hope you have a good night, and I appreciate you. And here we go. Welcome to Shit Does Not Add Up. Today's topic is analyzing what I know so far as of September 4th, 2024 regarding Casze and Raylee. So, recounting the issues that could be perceived as lies, leading to question stories, or possibly using words. These statements are not fact, rather they are an interpretation of reality with location of source material. Whether or not I agree, I'm just considering how specific events could be argued, not saying anything is fact. So first we're going to look at what could be seen as lies told. The amount of the dress. First told $10K, the GoFundMe asked for $12K, the contract shows about $6.2K. As seen in Marketing Sunday Raylee stole the dress, Full Stop Friday Raylee shares evidence, happening for them, updates on Raylee and Casze. This is a first discrepancy on Case's side. Then we have the date the dress was started. First told took 5 months, then told dress was a rush order, contract shows had 6 months. As seen in Marketing Sunday Raylee stole the dress and Full Stop Friday Raylee shares evidence. 2 lies on Case's side, 2 discrepancies total. The date of dress. Concept of rush order leads one to believe done on time. Contract shows was about 2 weeks late. As seen in Marketing Sunday Raylee stole dress, Full Stop Friday Raylee shares evidence. 3 discrepancies on Case's side. Next was the dress overnighted. Claims sent overnight, but dress may not have been shipped until the day after if it arrived late within that time context. As seen as Marketing Sunday Raylee stole dress, and Full Stop Friday Raylee shares evidence. 4 discrepancies on Case's side. Tracking number. Clean roll tracking number due to reprint late, but unless there was a change in delivery, the number should be the same, right? They could have re-entered it that way though. As seen in Full Stop Friday, Raylee shares evidence, Casze 5 discrepancies. Canceled fitting. Raylee tried to do a fitting that was canceled. Casze responds that the one happened made up for it. As seen in Full Stop Friday, Raylee shares evidence and proceeding in the evening lies counted in the video. 6 lies, Case's side, potentially discrepancies. Dress issue 1. Raylee says she did not want the belt. Casze did a video claiming the dress meets specifications. As seen in Full Stop Friday, Raylee shares evidence. Up Wednesday, Rayleigh's family responds. 7 discrepancies, Case's side. Dress issue 2. Raylee says she did not ever want a belt, but then says belt wasn't supposed to be this way, and the belt is in the checklist. As seen in Full Stop Friday, Raylee shares evidence and perceiving in the evening, lies counted and deleted video. 7 lies, Case's side, 1 on Raylee, 8 discrepancy totals. Dress issue 3. Raylee gives the impression that glue is a problem, yet it is in her checklist to make sure things are glued on. As seen in Full Stop Friday, Raylee shares evidence. As seen in perceiving in the evening, lies counted and deleted video. 7 on Casze, 2 on Raylee, 9 total. Dress issue 4. Issue with the top of the dress matching on the breast cups. Casze did a video claiming the dress meets specifications. As seen in Full Stop Friday, Raylee shares evidence. And what the fuck Wednesday, Rayleigh's family responds. 8 discrepancies for Casze, 2 on Raylee, 10 total. Dress issue 5. The tool on the beadwork did not match the request. Casze did a video claiming the dress meets specifications. As seen in Full Stop Friday, Raylee shares evidence. And what the fuck Wednesday, Rayleigh's family responds. 9 discrepancies for Casze, 2 on Raylee, 11 total. Dress issue 6. The train on the back was not censored. Off-right. The Casze did a video claiming the dress meets specifications. So that's going to be Full Stop Friday shares evidence, and Rayleigh shares evidence, and what the fuck Wednesday, Rayleigh's family responds, where you can see that. 10 discrepancies for Casze, 2 for Rayleigh, 12 total. We've got our 7th dress issue. The fit of the dress was incompatible with the bride's body. Casze did a video claiming the dress was made to specifications. As seen on Full Stop Friday, Rayleigh shares evidence, and what the fuck Wednesday, Rayleigh's family responds. 11 discrepancies for Casze, 2 for Rayleigh, 13 total. Dress issue 8. The price of the additional material is not disclosed, but Casze did do a video claiming it was made to specifications. As seen in Full Stop Friday, Rayleigh shares evidence. As seen in What the Fuck Wednesday, Rayleigh's family responds. So, 12 discrepancies for Casze, 2 for Rayleigh, 14 total. 9 dress issue. Cocktail dress wasn't properly covering the bride. Casze did a video claiming the dress meets specifications. As seen in Full Stop Friday, Rayleigh shares evidence. As seen in What the Fuck Wednesday, Rayleigh's family responds. 13 issues for Casze, 2 for Rayleigh, 15 total. Dress issue 10. Rayleigh texted Cenderra that she was happy and that it looked good in 2 different texts about 2 different things. Happy with how the day went. Casze did a video claiming the dress was made to specifications. As seen in perceiving in the evening, lies count deleted videos. This leads to the 3rd lie on Rayleigh, 13 for Casze, 16 discrepancies total. 11th dress issue. The slit on the wedding gown did not fit right where it showed bride's body inappropriately. That's 14 discrepancies for Casze. And that's 3 for Rayleigh, and that's 17 total, in my opinion. As seen in Full Stop Friday, Rayleigh shares evidence of perceiving in the evening, lies counted deleted video. Shipping the dress back. Casze says Rayleigh won't ship the dress back. Rayleigh did offer to send skirt only if Casze paid label or refunded. As seen in Marketing Sunday, Rayleigh stole the dress, and Full Stop Friday, Rayleigh shares evidence. That's 15 on Case's side, 3 on Rayleigh, 18 total. Communication on dress issues. Casze asked why didn't anyone text her if there was an issue with the dress, but Rayleigh showed she's texted in issues. As seen in Marketing Sunday, Rayleigh stole the dress, and Full Stop Friday, Rayleigh shares evidence. 16 discrepancies for Casze, 3 for Rayleigh, 19 total. Is 6 months rushed? If 6 months is considered a rush order, why give 3 to 6 months in the contract then? As seen in Full Stop Friday, Rayleigh shares evidence. 17 discrepancies for Casze, 3 for Rayleigh, 20 total. Must pay in full upfront. Casze said needs full payment before giving dress, but this isn't technically worded in the contract in terms of when. As seen in Marketing Sunday, Rayleigh stole the dress, and Full Stop Friday, Rayleigh shares evidence. 18 discrepancies for Casze, 3 for Rayleigh, 21 total. Untold prices, lies by omission. Train, jewelry, and notes from bidding cited in text as add-ons, but Rayleigh was not previously made aware of or told the amount. So that's 19 on Casze, 3 on Rayleigh, 22 total. As seen and perceiving in the evening, the lies counted in the video. Now we move into questions. Tracking number. How is a different tracking number printed or sitting deliverable if nothing but the weight change? As seen in Full Stop Friday, Rayleigh shares evidence, 23rd discrepancy. Flight. Did Casze really go on a flight to try and get the dress? Well, Cenderra. As seen in Marketing Sunday, Rayleigh stole the dress. 24th discrepancy. Locked. If Casze really got on that flight, did Rayleigh know and lock her before or after knowing? As seen in Marketing Sunday, Rayleigh stole the dress, and Full Stop Friday, Rayleigh shares evidence. 25th discrepancy. Being nice, changed mind. Why would you tell the designer you were happy with how things went in writing if you weren't? As seen and perceiving in the evening, lies counted in the video. As seen in Marketing Sunday, Rayleigh stole the dress. 26th discrepancy. Dress held. How was the dress able to be picked up from FedEx if a hold was placed on it, or did that never happen? As seen in Marketing Sunday, Rayleigh stole the dress. 27th discrepancy. Fixing issues. Why say you weren't going to help them if they didn't pay? Then say you would have helped. As seen in Marketing Sunday, Rayleigh stole the dress. 28th discrepancy. Dress fit. What happened with the measurements taken, or dress process, or them not to fit Rayleigh right? Was this a Zoom issue? As seen in Full Stop Friday, Rayleigh shares evidence, and perceiving in the evening, lies counted deleted video. 29th discrepancy. Total price. Contract states that there may be extra charges. Rayleigh texted about extra charges, but only told us the contracted price. As seen in Full Stop Friday, Rayleigh shares evidence, and perceiving in the evening, lies counted deleted video. 30th discrepancy. Amendment on contract. The amended contract is discussed in text, but I don't think that was ever made public, only the original. As seen in perceiving in the evening, lies counted and deleted video. As seen in Full Stop Friday, Rayleigh shares evidence. I guess my question is, what is the amendment on the contract? 31st discrepancy. Swatches. Why weren't swatches ever sent if Casze is claiming dress was made to specifications? As seen and perceiving in the evening, lies counted deleted video, but the fuck Wednesday, Rayleigh's family responds. This is our 32nd discrepancy. 33. Due date with amendments. When amendments to scope of contract involve timeline extension of legal obligation to fulfill duties. As seen and proceeding in the evening, lies calendar with the video, and what the fuck Wednesday Raylee's family responds. The extension of the scope might change the delivery time, but I haven't seen the amended contract to decide. Was their approval on time? Could Raylee's message that said, if the dress isn't done, I understand, be used against her? As seen and proceeding in the evening, lies calendar with the video. 34. Was the belt wanted or not? Raylee says first that the belt was not supposed to be this big. Then, that she never wanted it. Third, that the belt was in the checklist. And then fourth, Raylee says she wanted it smaller. Asking who's that Friday, Raylee shares evidence, and proceeding in the evening, lies calendar with the videos. 35th discrepancy. Is it theft? Raylee partially paid for dress, refused to give back the full dress without money after threatening police, wanting a refund. As seen on Full Stop Friday, Raylee shares evidence. As seen perceiving in the evening, lies counting deleted video. 36 discrepancy. Is it breach of contract? Raylee received dress without paying in full, but Casze may not have delivered on time or expected result. As seen, or delivered on time or delivered the expected result. As seen on Full Stop Friday, Raylee shares evidence. As seen an entire playlist, Casze and Raylee. 37th discrepancy. Is it a scam? If true, could lack of specific prices on amended contract count as stopping client from information to enforce the contract? And we'll look at how this applies to the definition of a scam later in the live stream that you are maybe potentially watching now regarding What the Fuck Wednesday. Casze reposts Raylee Rukavina GoFundMe if you are watching that and shit doesn't add up around up to. Is it defamation? Casze said Raylee stole from her. Is this true or false? She got 13 million views on published content and Raylee was harassed, which is harm. Asking the entire playlist, Casze and Raylee. 39th discrepancy. I think if Raylee's attorneys can prove negligence, they may have a defamation case. Like when, you know what I'm saying? 39th discrepancy. Is it extortion? Raylee had not paid for the dress in full, refused to give back the dress without money after threatening the police. As seen and perceiving in the evening, lights counted with the video, was that Friday Raylee shares evidence. 40th discrepancy. So even though there was a dispute in the purchase, I'm just curious as to if there is a legal extortion argument. We'll look at that in a minute in this live stream. What happened with the overlay? How did the wrong overlay get sourced and why didn't the client get to see the dress until after the wrong overlay? As seen and perceiving in the evening, lights counted deleted video. 41st discrepancy. The contract states no refund for deliverable in contract, but doesn't state all sales final or disclosed policy given breach of contract. Whether you believe that's one-sided, one could argue on both sides. As seen in Full Stop Friday, Raylee shares evidence, leading to our 42nd discrepancy. So, our questions shown we don't have evidence. The constructs are labeled as lies. I have evidence for possible perception as a lie. So I'm not calling anyone a liar, but if you feel like you were called one after this, ask yourself why. I'm not going in her favor legally, potentially. Was that the end of the video? Let her slide for a second. Thanks for watching. Join the loyalty program at noladeafchild.com/loyalty and check in during live streams to get points for rewards.